Welcome to Yerba Mate Talks.
Welcome to the Aftershow. I am Max. This is Kat, also known as El Gato. And today we had a debate between Teen Pony, Flat Earth, Aussie Dummy, and Daniel Turner. It was something danger zone. All right. This was yes. Derpy doesn't even begin to describe it. All right. Before we do anything, make sure to do the social things like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend, send this to your significant other, go to the corner, use the corner of your street and yell, subscribe to Yerba Mate Talks. And that way we can share the love for the channel. We had some very strong contenders for dumbest comment of the debate. It was something. That section. I at one moment I had to stop counting or basically taking screenshots because we could have done a whole show just on that. Bunch of the derplings came on. So all right, let's get you the link. We'll pin it and we'll be off to the races. There we go. Already have Mike. How you doing?
Yo, what's good?
Haven't had one of these in a while. That was holy cow, derpy as hell.
Yeah, I have my own 2 cents to say about whatever that was.
Yes. But we'll get some more of our friends in here. Almar Spa, hello. I saw you there with the Flurfect. There was a Flurfect there saying all verticals are parallel, and I gave her the evidence that they're not, and she crashed out. Had a little bit of a mental breakdown over there. Hold on, if it's just the two of us, what was that bullshit about a kaleidoscope? I mean, if we'll get into that, but now it's a kaleidoscope. He used to say like a diamond, but yeah, no, it's just Iron Horse's nonsense. Of course, we had Matthew Hakim, the only 12-time winner of the dumbest comment of the debate award. Yeah, so aiming for his 13th consecutive title. One of them blocked me. I don't know if I went too far or I should be proud I got blocked. No, always be proud, because if they block you, that means that that they can handle the heat. All right, openings. Daniel Turner, it was good. Could have been better. I don't know. It's not the strong. He didn't bring the strongest points, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, I probably caught like the last hour of it, so I missed the opening statements, unfortunately. But I watched enough to like. We'll get to that point. We'll get to that point.
Yeah, probably in the open discussion.
Yeah.
Jack, welcome. How you doing?
Bros.
What's up, Jack?
No, that was painful. That was so fucking painful.
Oh God, dude.
Yes. I mean, it's Iron Horse. What do you expect? But he's the only flat earther that is even willing to debate anymore. So, I mean, that's all Flat Earth has right now. And I mean, it's a sad state of affairs when the only proponent for your position is freaking Iron Horse.
Yeah, but he's all unicorns and fairies. He makes it up as he goes. It was the dumbest. I mean, for fuck's sake, I after 5 minutes, I'm like, I can't sit through this whole thing.
Well, did you see Dan's opening?
I didn't think
Daniel?
Daniel did that good, but the minute I saw the whole thing, the minute Iron Horse talked about when I was a kid and then went through his whole how he was an exceptional student and oh my fucking word. I think that Iron Horse's derp was so ridiculously stupid that Daniel's answers being somewhat scientific needed to be toned down to match the derp. And he let him get away with stupid things like it's inverted, but we weren't talking about inverted. We were talking about rotation. He let him get away with a lot of things like kaleidoscope, which you could easily tear that apart. I just thought he needed to be more aggressive.
Yeah, a little bit. I kept saying that Iron Horse is nice. Let me remind everyone that Iron Horse is a literal Nazi, just FYI. So, no, he's not a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, when we get to it, all right, when we get past the...
Yeah, we can jump onto Iron Horse's opening. Because
I didn't see that either, but if you guys
He says, Iron Horse's opening was so boring and I wish the moderator had stepped in and made him focus on why he thinks the earth is flat. Yes, he basically told a story, gave zero evidence, and it was all about... I don't know, his childhood and whatever.
Yeah, Mike, you're lucky you didn't see that
ever.
or hear
that was
it.
his opening statement. His opening statement
he
was
spent
a story
10
about when he
minutes.
was a kid.
He spent 10 minutes on when I was a kid and I was in school and I was a year ahead and I was an exceptional student and yada yada yada.
What
and
did he fall on his head during the playground?
Is. Oh, it's a...
Yeah, it was bad. Like it was just a personal anecdote, zero evidence given, and also zero arguments for the flat Earth. He just said, "Oh yeah, the Earth is flat." That's it. Nothing else. No argument. Because I mean, you could just make an argument about why the Earth is flat, but he didn't even do that. No, it was bad.
But
like
he was talking about like the frozen hydrogen and the helium,
superfluid helium. Bro.
I mean, I don't even know where to go with that. It's the dumbest thing, and also I have not ever heard him before, so a lot of this was new to me. But the kaleidoscope one, just I could not believe what he was saying.
Wait, you've never heard Iron Horse's dirt before?
No, it's exceptionally stupid. I mean,
wow,
you
are a lucky person. Holy shit.
Apparently so.
And it changed. It used to be the facets on a diamond, and now it's a kaleidoscope. But Iron Horse, they tested for reflections. They tested the polarization of light while they were in Antarctica.
But even so, a kaleidoscope, light shines through a kaleidoscope and hits a translucent material like rice paper kind of thing. And you're looking at it through an eyepiece. If you removed the eyepiece and you were looking at the whole thing, you're seeing what you're looking at is light projected onto something that you're looking through the other side. So for his analogy to work, there would have to be a translucent material between us and the sun, and there isn't.
Well, the superfluid.
Well, we can see through it. It's clear. We can see. I mean, it's not. It would have to. You can't project onto nothing. It would have to be like so. If he was saying if his superfluid was like translucent, okay, maybe you have a sort of an argument, but I don't know.
Yeah, but again, it's a claim about this superfluid helium ceiling that no one has ever seen. No one can prove. They have zero evidence. So like more empty claims.
Well, but also helium cooled down to liquid state is heavier than air. So there would be no reason for it to stay in the sky.
Superfluid though. It's super.
Fluid.
Yeah, you put the super in front of it, it does anything you want it to do.
A cape and it's just floating in the air.
Super derp. Doesn't sound any better.
Says his ability to take a bee into his hands proves flat Earth somehow. Oh yeah.
Wait, there are bees involved?
Yes, he thinks he's a Disney princess. So he can take, hummingbirds and.
Well, toward the end, when he's
chirp when he walks around the meadow.
Toward the end, when he was talking about, they got into talking about. I don't want to jump around, but just talking about is stupid. They were talking about eclipses, and he was like, well, the moon's supposed to be 400 times smaller than the sun. That can't be a coincidence. The word coincidence means what it means, dumbass. If the moon wasn't, the apparent size wasn't identical, no one would ever mention it. Yeah, the moon appears half the size of the sun. So when there's a a lunar eclipse, we see most of this. I mean, but the fact that it is, we say it. If it wasn't, no one would care about it. But he thinks a coincidence can't exist. It has to be explained away by, like design.
Yeah, design, the intelligent design.
Yeah, we have Ludwig was the one. Ludwig is a flirt. He was the one that asked the distance to the moon and the sun and the size question. He's so dumb. Poor guy. I feel sorry for him.
He gave answers. He said what, between 10 and 12 miles it was for the distance to the sun?
Yes, he did give distances to the sun. That was just.
And the interesting thing about that is they say the Earth is I think 16,000 miles across, so there'd be a diameter of like 52,000 miles. So picture the sun at 12 miles high, and then picture you on the other side, the furthest place where you can, let's just say 1,000 miles away. You see the sun, the same brightness as that person underneath it. But the way light works, when you double the distance, you decrease the intensity of light by exactly 50%. So at the distance then of you, let's say 12 miles high, now you're 1,000 miles away, you would barely see the sun, and yet it lights up half the Earth at the same time. It doesn't, only in the very late evening and early dawn would it be, it's nonsense.
And remember we were watching Chris the other day, and he was saying that the sun couldn't be 3,000 miles in the air because you would be able to see it from all the Earth. Like, none of this makes any kind of sense whatsoever. All right, so we covered the openings. Let's jump on to everyone's favorite section here. And we'll see. Oh, let me clear the counter because we don't need that right now. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Screenshots. All right.
There were some juicy ones after I joined.
Oh my!
I was reading them. I'm like, I really hope that made it in.
Oh my! We'll see.
Like this.
We have some heavy hitters today.
Yeah.
Paige, the Flurfette. When did you measure a vertical that is at 90 degrees? Matthew Hakim. It's important to see what type of curvature this glober has faith in. Oh,
vertical doesn't mean 90 degrees.
The Flurfette's point is that all verticals on Earth are parallel to each other, and I gave her the evidence that they're not, and she had a mental breakdown.
Mm-hmm. She's a good contender. Like those are the ones that I was like, oh man, I really hope that made it in.
Yeah, of course, Mike pointed to Matthew. Even the moderators know that you're running away, Matthew. Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Iron Horse called me a moron tonight.
Can someone please message Professor Dave and I saw that, Jack. Yes, I heard it. Can someone please message Professor Dave and Jeranism for me? They've been running away from me for 2 years now. It's pathetic. Oh, the deflection.
Oh, wait. Isn't this Max? Didn't someone make an offer to Matthew Hakim that would have been maybe beneficial to him?
Oh, yes. Actually, you're right. You are right. Hold on. Do I have anything compromising on my screenshots? No. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. I see here. Matthew Hakim, what if I pay your flight to Punta in December? Said Jack Federer, who's right here. And this was Matthew Hakim's response. I can debunk your bitch ass from the comfort of my living room. I know how perspective distortion makes the lights go in the opposite direction, south of the equator. Go fuck yourself, punk ass little bitch.
What does that even mean? Perspective distortion?
But Mike, if you were arguing for something that nobody else believed and someone offered to pay your trip, wouldn't you just go and while you're there, do your little photographic evidence and then debunk, and then you'd be winning?
Yeah, I mean, he's not married. He doesn't have kids. Does he have a job? Like, there's literally nothing tying him. I would take a free trip. Are you kidding me?
Of course. If someone wrote MOM on the ceiling, a person across would read WOW. The problem is that doesn't work with the clockwise and counterclockwise rotation of the stars.
Nobody's talking about the perspective of seeing a 9 and then a 6, right? No one's
Right.
talking about inverted. And that's what they use because they have no answer for rotation.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it works as an explanation for why the moon is inverted, but it doesn't work for anything else at all.
And he knows the question I asked was about rotation. And notice what he did. He went back to inverted moon, you're a moron. And I'm like, you fucking douche.
Can I address Ludwig in chat real quick? They're not the same size. They literally vary in size. Like the sun the moon is smaller than or appears smaller in the sky than the sun. That's why we have a analemma. Did I say that right? During solar eclipses.
Oh, she was everyone's favorite in high school. Yes, Anal Emma.
Anal Emma.
Yes. Yeah, you're correct. And that's why we sometimes have the super moon, is because the atmosphere sometimes magnifies stuff.
Yeah, they're not the same. Like they're observably not the same size. So
Yep.
But that's like saying when I'm sitting on my couch and there's a big object across the room and I put my thumb in front of it, right in front of my eye, it disappears. Is my thumb the same size as the dresser on the other side of the room?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just dumb. If you can't understand that.
Oh, look who we have. Oh
man.
You look less like a hobo without the long beard. You're still as dumb as ever, Iron Horse. Remember the last time you came here, I debunked you with the flashlight on my phone and my hand?
Oh, Iron Horse, that's how dumb you are. Stupid.
Is it cold over there in Narnia, Iron Horse?
By the way, I asked you the question about rotation using the ceiling fan, and you immediately changed it to inverted because you can't explain it, you dumb fuck.
I can explain it. I have a globe right here.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice. Is that Dr. J?
Hey.
Oh, yo, Dr. J.
Hey guys, what's up?
It's been a minute.
Doing awesome. Yeah. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. I'm in South Carolina now, so I just went to some bar on the beach and had a good meal there. Had some
nice
brisket and whatnot. So doing well.
Awesome. Okay, so Mike, hold on. I'll make you big.
Oh, you already did. But anywho, so as you can see, this is the northern hemisphere, and I'm turning it this way, and you can see that it's spinning clockwise for you guys. And when I keep turning it the same direction, and we flip it upside down, it is now spinning counterclockwise. This is what we observe in the sky. Like it's not just. I'm not looking at it in a different direction. Like I'm literally flipping the globe over.
Yeah, but for that to apply to the stars, you would have to go through the plane of rotation and look at the stars from the other side.
Exactly.
So if you had a transparent clock, you would see it going clockwise. And wherever you put it, it will go clockwise. The only way that you could see it go the other way is if you looked at it from the other side. But you would have to go through it. You would have to be on the other side of the plane of rotation. How is this hard?
Well, that's the same analogy I made with the ceiling fan. You'd have to be above it for it to rotate in the other direction.
To be above it, exactly.
And Daniel made the perfect reference using a disco ball. If you sit in your room and turn on a disco ball and look at the way the lights move from left to right or right to left, depending on which way it's rotating, I don't care where you go in that room. When you look at the wall, they're still going to rotate in the same direction. And Iron Horse knows that, which is why he defers his dumb little argument to, and it's inverted.
Oh, is that the real Danny Turner?
Yo,
hello.
Danny.
Welcome. How you doing?
I think it might be.
Hello.
Yo.
Oh, it is. I got a shout out. He said Max is great. I love that. Thank you. How you doing? That was fun, wasn't it?
I loved it. I really did.
I would like to tell you one thing. You said many, many times that Iron Horse is a nice guy. He's a literal Nazi, just FYI. You might not know that.
He came across all right. We had a very nice conversation, but I was trying to get him to sort of explain phenomena that just doesn't make sense on a flat Earth, and I felt like he just went round the houses a bit and sort of spray some pixie dust and all that. But yeah,
I mean, he has given what I think is the worst opening of all time in all subjects ever. It was just a story about himself and like Iron Horse. No one cares. Literally, no one cares. Just give evidence for the flat Earth, but that's all he can do because he has nothing, like absolutely nothing.
He was trying to make himself. Sorry to interrupt. He was trying to make himself sound intellectual, is what I think he was doing by talking about his childhood and being a year ahead, and all the teachers telling him. I think that's all that was about. But yeah,
the only thing missing was the claim of 160 IQ, and I would have got bingo just on the opening. All right, you came on to the dumbest comment of the debate section, so I scanned the chat for the dumbest comment of the debate, and then we vote. So far, we have Matthew Hakim, the only 12-time winner of this award. He's not even close. No one has even won like twice. We have Paige, strong contender for today. It's safe for what you ballers are doing. The lowest IQ among humanity are left on the wall only. Sorry. Matthew Hakim again. Max, you know I invited you, Jared, a podcast on my show, and you guys ran, which is, Matthew, hypocritical because I invited you here. You say you like Dr. J and you like Isa. I invited you here. We can debate here. They can moderate, and they will keep me under wraps.
Wait.
Ran away from that.
Matthew, you're saying somebody didn't go to something that you invited them? Didn't I say I would pay for your trip to Punta Arenas?
Yes.
Do it. Go.
No, he ran.
He won't go.
Away.
He already bagged out.
Oh, fuck's sake! Why are they too scared?
Paige is saying that I'm a coward. Only debate people who I think he can beat. Paige, I also challenge you to debate, but we all know you will run. Mr. Lono here had a bit of a tiff with Tay. You can't prove the sun or moon is round. They're circles. Oh my God. They literally just went around the moon.
And everything just happens to be
on the moon. Yeah.
But everything happens to be showing exactly on face to us. It's got its face. Never profile, never partial profile. Every single object in the universe. Right.
Yeah. Phil, how did your surgery go? Please tell me everything is okay. Love having you here, Phil. Gary Baxter, Moonlight is cooler than Moonshade. Okay. LJ, if you dig straight down, will you come out upside down? Page, one geometry for one reality. Cubes are on Earth. This was the whole vertical nonsense thing. There. So what are eclipses, Globetard? Explain. We can explain them. Flat Earthers can't. I love that. We all stand vertical, and you admit vertical or parallel. Oh my. I gave you the evidence, Paigey. I gave you the evidence. This threat is dense. I want fair and square. I won again. Houses are cubes. Walls parallel, and nobody can rebut this. We all stand vertically. Like, okay, that makes the Earth flat. Got it. What? Another strong one. The Boltard called Kildare model when they changed their Boltard math from pool to slope, which no longer explains the ball. Whatever that means.
What? What the
No
fuck?
idea. What is a random noise generator? I think it's a bot, actually. Ancient Muslims star maps show the exact same constellations in the sky 3,000 years ago that are in the sky today. How does that happen? When you're flying through space, this is just false. But every other planet is round except the Earth, Globetard, with sub 50 IQ. Oh, adorable. Pressurized gas systems require a physical container. There's no natural demonstration of a high pressure system existing next to a vacuum without a solid barrier. There is no globe model. Mount Everest, 1 atmosphere at the bottom, 0.3 at the top. Explain that. Here they got the Fleur Fed got with Almar Spa. You need a flat surface to do that trigonometry. It's dumb. There were so many today. Triangles only exist in theory. No one ever has seen a true triangle. How do you think people make like triangular roofs.
What is this? Is this? Are these real questions?
These are real people. These are
this
real
is
people.
definitely one of my all times for tonight. I love this. Triangles don't exist. That's like.
I mean,
in theory.
I can make a triangle with like my fingers. So I don't know.
In theory, you made
In
a triangle
theory.
with your fingers.
The sun is a flat hot star. Okay. Chat, can we all agree on and we experience the world? Our experience of the world is a flat one. They were Matthew Hakim striking hard. He really wants his prize, the 13th one. They weren't in Antarctica. Will Duffy told me in an email that was corroborated on this show. He's lying. Yes, Will Duffy
Matthew,
sent him a sarcastic.
I'm going to pay for your trip to go to Punta Arenas, and you can debunk it right there. Why won't you go?
That's bullshit.
You're so full of it, Hakeem. You're such a fucking idiot.
Austin Winston faked his breath with a vape because it was too warm in the studio. The final experiment was more like the final excrement. Okay. Your eyes deceive you. Your eyes don't see the truth. I don't. The truth I do. Don't use your head. Use your soul. Okay.
Wasn't that a quote by Einstein? Yeah, I don't think so.
Don't use that devilry they call math.
That sneaky math. Oh, God.
has a thought on that here.
Okay, so I'm going to clarify because you're using wizardry.
Iron Horse must have some strange magnetic attraction to idiots, because the people that are in this chat are dumber than dumb.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's really, really bad. Devilry called math, and let me see. TFE was garbage. I call it Duffy's failure. They tried to prove the glow, but instead proved they had to fake it. That is adorable. All right. I mean, let's vote because there's been way too many.
I assume a few of those were ironic, though, right?
No.
Really?
No, I swear, because I double checked that it's not someone mocking a flat earther. I double check. I swear. I mean, I have to vote for the only Matthew Hakim. Until he stops running away from me, he will always get my vote. So, Dr. J, I think the triangle one, right?
Absolutely. The triangle's got my vote.
Yes. We lost Jack. He'll be back. Danny, dumbest comment of the debate.
Do you know what? It's got to be the Will Duffy one. There's no way it is bullshit. No way.
Matthew Hakim. Jack, dumbest comment of the debate, vote.
I think when Iron Horse
no, from the ones, not from Iron Horse.
From the comments? Good Lord. How do you pick between I mean, not one of those comments sounded even remotely intellectual. It's all just dumb. But yeah, I mean, Matthew Hakim seems like a fair bet.
Hakim.
He's a winner.
Yes, and Dirt, I'll give you the vote just as a formality, but Matthew Hakim has it mathematically won already. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I would say the triangle one. That was
the triangle. Oh,
yeah.
It was close. That was a
the triangle one is good.
Contender.
Yeah,
worthy contender. So here we go. Where is it?
That's the dumbest comment of the debate. You said it with a smile like it sounded so great. Round and round you talk, but you don't say straight. That's the dumbest comment of the debate.
Hey, woo! The only 13-time winner of the dumbest comment of the debate award. The one, the only, the undisputed king of making dumb comments on debate. Matthew Hakim. Claps.
Congratulations.
All right. Danny, we were saying before you came on that the opening was good. I don't think you hit on the strongest points. And when we have the debaters here, I usually like to ask them if you feel that you accomplished what you set out to do with your opening.
So with my opening, I just wanted to sort of mention observations. Now, despite the fact that it's quite early where I am, so I was a bit sluggish with my words and trying to get things out. I feel like I could have done a better job, but I feel that what I did present was okay, and I'm happy with it. I don't feel
That's
So-
fine. We here we are, very deep in the flat Earth debate. So there are some stronger points. For example, the moon one, they do sort of have an answer to that. They don't have an answer to the rotation one, and they always crumble. I mean, even Witsit crumbled when Professor Dave brought up that point to him. That is a strong one. But it's just personal preference when it comes to those.
Well, that would be my critique of Daniel. You can't let him move off a topic by giving a BS answer. Like when he kept saying it's inverted. We weren't talking about whether a 6 would be a 9 from the other side. Clearly, all those analogies were talking about rotation, and he deflected every time. I feel like the best debates, they just keep pressing and pressing and pressing until they either admit they have no answer or they just give something ridiculous. He just kept saying it. That was my only critique, is don't let him move on. Just stay on that same topic.
Yeah. Oh, we have Hugh Jars, another Aussie representing here. He is kind of a psycho. So open discussion. Dr. J, how much of the debate did you catch?
I did catch the openings. I saw first part of the open discussion, but I didn't see all of the open discussion. How long did the super chats end up going? Was this a long one tonight or not?
No, it was a relatively short one.
Yeah.
So I think the opening discussion I saw, you guys are going back and forth about, whether the moon was going to be this direction or that direction, and I'm pretty sure Iron Horse really thinks he's right. I don't think he thinks he's wrong, which is very interesting about that. So I don't know. I think you need. I don't think you provided a visual on that when you did it, right? And I think a visual, might have helped you a little bit, but that's probably my only comment there.
Yeah, Iron Horse debate from his cell phone, so he never shows anything. Which, I mean, Iron Horse just debate on a computer, dude. It's you have to show. This is an evidential debate. You have to show evidence, and Danny had the visuals. He had the other strong point that you brought up, the black swan, and how the crane that is like that on one picture, on the other picture looks like an S. And Iron Horse had absolutely no answer for that. That one was a good one. You maybe could have pressed him on, but you were being nice, and I get that. I'm very more antagonistic to Iron Horse, especially because we've had encounters in the past. Every time Iron Horse comes on here, he rage quits. What did you think, Danny, about what's the shorthand for what do I call you, Daniel or Danny? Danny's fine.
Well, I am Daniel, but I'm known as Danny. So yeah,
awesome.
Just Danny.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What did you think about the kaleidoscope nonsense?
The what one?
Iron Horse said that the sun is like a kaleidoscope.
It's a kaleidoscope. A kaleidoscope? Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, I didn't have an answer for it. I didn't know what to bloody say to it. If I'm honest, I mean,
one of the things they did in Antarctica was to check the polarization of light of the sun with a polarizing filter in order to check for reflections, because one of the claims is that the sun would be a reflection off of the dome. So they did check for that. And they actually debunked, and it's not a reflection. It's just pure light coming straight from the sun. So Iron Horse is wrong on that one.
But also the mechanics of a kaleidoscope. Again, it's light shining through a lens. Forget the lens part. And it's shining through, that faceted lens onto something translucent that you're looking at from the other side through a peephole. Remove the peephole and see the whole thing, and you're going to see all of the different shapes. But also, unless there's that same translucent material between us and the sun, so it's transparent from us to the sun, everything we see with our eyes. Now, if it was a translucent white, kind of thing between us, then maybe he would have some evidence for projection, but it's just absurd from top to bottom.
Yep. Iron Horse says, you throw me out. No, I've never kicked you out. Why would I kick you? I have so much fun. I can dunk on you all night.
Yeah, you're stupid is entertaining to us.
Why would I kick you? I laugh my ass off every time you come here and fumble every single question. I mean, would you hold on? I have to play it.
Oh, Ironhorse, I want you to look up coincidence when you get a chance, buddy.
It's one of the funniest things ever. This hold on. I'm sorry. I'm tempted because this is hilarious. There we go. All right, share. Share.
Sunburn. Then how does that work?
Because the sun is always ejecting out solar radiant energy, and that includes every frequency of the spectrum
wait, no,
of
this is
sunlight
not
that
the
you
one.
can imagine.
So
and some of them ionize the atmosphere. Well, it's the appearance of traveling, yes, but it's not actually traveling itself. It's the medium that gives it the appearance of traveling, as it's one part after another.
Huh? Do you see that? Do you see the light? Do you see the flashlight from my phone traveling to my camera? SpaghettiOs not traveling anymore. But
you're so clever.
I see you two have got a lot of history. I see you two. I had a nice chat with him, so I think he's all right. We had a good chat after the debate as well, and I mean, you got history. It's fine, but I enjoyed it.
You have to take advantage of his what he says, though. A perfect one was when he claimed the sun was 10 to 12 miles in altitude. Think about think about this. They say the pizza is 16,000 miles across for a 52,000 mile circumference pizza. Let's just say that we won't go to the edges. Let's just say 1,000 miles away from wherever the sun is. Let's say the sun's directly over the North Pole, 12 miles high, and you're 1,000 miles away. You know that the light you see is roughly the same intensity. But the law of how light and intensity and luminance decreases rapidly, it follows the inverse square law. So basically, if you double the distance, you quarter the output. So 12 miles, 12 miles, 12 miles. By the time you got to 1,000 miles, there would be nothing visible, yet alone the multiple thousands of miles that it actually illuminates the Earth. The things he said were so easily disputed, in my opinion.
I think I did question on that. I remember Ross saying something about 12 to 15 miles or something. But I mean, I think my response to that was that we had bounced radar sort of to get the distance.
Yeah, but they'll just deny that because science is stupid. But if you just go with the inverse square law is easily measurable with light. You can measure it in your house, in your kitchen, whatever. But if you just tell them, hey, how do you explain the light not being almost invisible for, I mean, I get what you're saying. You were arguing science and nothing he said was scientific. So it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, it's hard with Ironhorse because he has no clue what he's doing. So he will just spout whatever nonsense he comes up with. But it's okay. I understand, Danny, that you're trying to be nice. We kind of know Ironhorse from before, have a history with him and stuff, so we don't really we're not nice to him, right? Because
I'm more of a lover. And I think everyone deserves a chance to get their points across and everything. So I don't really like to shout over people. Oh, here he is. I don't really like to shout over people, but I mean, me and Ross had a really good conversation, so I'm happy with that.
Well, the problem isn't professionalism. There's nothing that he said had any evidence behind it, and he morphed all kinds of things together. And quite frankly, when he questioned why you would need a model, he said something like, "Well, somebody building a house, the model is just reference for what it looks like." Well, with the model of the solar system, it's about movement and mechanics. It's not the same thing. And you know darn well if Flat Earth had a model, like with their, what was the pyro guy, not the pyro guy, but the
Joe Hanby.
Yes. I mean, he tried to create it, and they all got all excited about that until he disappeared because it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Dr. J, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say I'm pro nice on that. So Danny, I'm with you on the being nice. So I'm voting with you on the being nice. Is Joe Hanvey gone? Really?
Yes,
I've
he
not been
fell
in
off
my.
the edge of flat Earth.
Yes, his mom sold the
Never to be
Tupperware.
seen again.
Wow, he gave up totally. Just mailed
Yeah.
it in, huh?
Packed
The thing
it.
is-
He actually sent the gigantic salad bowl to Nathan Thompson, and Nathan Thompson is trying to sell it for meth money.
Yeah, probably. Oh, he is a piece of shit. He is.
Where did Iron Horse go?
Right, listen, Max, it's a bit early for me. I just wanted to pop in and and say hi.
Thank you so much.
But I think next time maybe on your after show on another debate, I can pop in if the time's good and we can discuss that.
Oh yeah, but they'll always be like super late for you because
right.
Time different.
Hey, Danny, Danny, I wasn't knocking you, so apologies if you think I was picking on you. I was so triggered by Iron Horse's stupidity.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think he's going to.
Thank you for dropping by, though.
That's all right. I think he's going to pop by in. Pop back
he's
in.
saying he's kicked. I didn't kick you. You just dropped off because your internet is trash, don't you? I didn't kick you.
That's right.
What a liar.
I'm going to drop back because I need to get some sleep. But when Iron Horse comes back in, then I'm sure you'll have a good conversation.
I'm sure, yes.
I'm glad you enjoyed the debate and
Iron Horse, I didn't kick you. Come back. I didn't kick you. Why would I kick you? You're super
He doesn't kick people out, buddy.
I don't kick people out until so come back. I didn't kick you, dummy. Bye, Danny. Sorry.
That's all right. See you later.
This is the stuff that we have to deal with.
Max, if you do kick someone out, doesn't it move them backstage and tell them they were moved backstage?
See you later.
No, I mean it depends. I can move someone down, but they remain backstage, or I can hit the kick.
Right, but he was kicked out, so he wouldn't end up backstage, right?
Yeah, but it tells you that you've been kicked by Iron Horse. Come back. I don't kick people out for no reason. Like I was about to give you the word, and I was looking at something else, and then when I looked up, you weren't there. I didn't kick you. If I would have kicked you, I wouldn't be letting you back on, would I? That is so silly.
They all like to be picked on and claim that they're the center of attention. And
remember when Matthew used to say that Globers are doing hate speech on Flat Earth? Oh, that is just adorable. Iron Horse, you're the one lying. I'm telling you, come back. I didn't kick you.
Dude, just rejoin, for Christ's sake. Stop whining about it.
I'll give you whatever time you want to speak, and then we'll debunk your nonsense like we always do.
I literally had to drop out and come right back in. So.
All right. I don't know. For me, it works perfectly. But Jack, for example, is connecting on an iPad, has to rejoin. Apparently, there are some glitches when you join from mobile, which I didn't even experience because I did a full stream on mobile from the street, and it worked. So, look, just come back. I don't know what else I can tell you. What other points? I don't know. There were. You see, there he is. All right. Hello. Hello.
So what you beat me up for already?
I didn't.
Dude, he didn't kick you out. Would you stop?
I didn't exit. I didn't do anything to exit.
Well, it disconnected. It happens. You're back here. I didn't kick you out. Hello.
When Nathan Oakley kicks you out, he doesn't invite you back in. That's how you know you're kicked out.
Yeah. And when you're kicked out, it tells you you've been kicked from the room. If you just got disconnected, it happens. It's okay. You're back here. Hello.
Yeah. You're a despicable human being. You know that, don't you, Max?
Aww.
You are absolutely
Iron Horse, I
despicable.
asked you a question in that I super chatted and asked you something that you just completely blew off. Would you like to answer it
I was trying to
here?
answer some questions too. Yeah,
you
sure.
called me a
I'd love to
moron
answer
when
it.
I asked you. Frankly, I said if the ceiling fan analogy of rotation, not of inverted like a 6 and a 9, how do you explain the stars rotating in two different directions? And you of course diverted to saying, oh, you were talking about inverted, you moron. I was talking about rotation. It was clear in that analogy.
Yep.
What's your answer for that?
Okay, so you're talking about a ceiling fan, but we were talking about the inversion of a moon.
No.
And-
You had also talked about the direction of the star rotation. And if
Yeah,
you think,
that's a
so now
completely
I'm
different
clarifying. I wasn't
phenomenon.
talking about inversion. I was talking about rotation.
Okay, so if you want to compare the rotation of the stars to a ceiling fan, you're completely lacking a sense of scale.
Answer the question.
Iron Horse, it's not about scale.
I am answering the question. Okay.
Don't divert.
Yes, I am, Maxine. Just calm your farm, mate. I'm answering the question because a ceiling fan is showing what we would see maybe from the center of the North Pole to about 10 degrees
You don't see the
outside.
North Pole from the south?
We're not seeing a ceiling fan, are we? What we are seeing when we see the stars cross our field of vision is we're seeing in a field of view from one side east to the other side west of about 3 miles each from our own personal perspective. That's the size of what we're seeing. We're not seeing the entire ceiling fan going around and around above us.
It doesn't matter because when you look at the south celestial pole, it goes clockwise. And when you look at the north celestial pole, it goes counterclockwise. Why?
Yeah, and that's what I explained with the whole kaleidoscope effect, is that when you are looking, turn around and facing the other way and watching things rotating that direction.
What's happening here.
The kaleidoscope is a ridiculous analogy. It's completely ridiculous. A kaleidoscope has a lens with faceted surface. And and you're looking at it from the other side of a translucent material. So, is the sky clear? When we look at the sun, are we seeing anything in between us and the sun that has translucence, like rice paper? Because if we were, your kaleidoscope argument would have some merit, even though it's still ridiculous.
Okay, so you know that the atmosphere, right, it peters out at about 12 to 14 miles high, and the sky goes from blue to black, even in the middle of the day.
The reflected light that you see within the atmosphere is due to the water vapor in the atmosphere. It doesn't go from blue to black.
It's got nothing to do with the water vapor.
Absolutely, yes, it does.
Gases that fluoresce. Water is not blue under light.
And you're the only one that no. You're the only one that says anything you're saying. Not a single textbook will back what you're saying.
That's right. Well, that's correct. Okay, call me the pioneer in this information if that's what you need to hear, because I'm not
ridiculously delusional, not pioneer.
Okay, so you tell me, why is the sky blue?
Because
the sky is blue because of the
Rayleigh criterion. It scatters the light.
And it's the wavelength of the light. So every
that
wavelength.
doesn't tell me why the sky is blue.
So
tell me why the sky is blue.
I'm going to explain.
Calm down. Don't yell.
Let me explain. It's fine. So when you look at a rainbow, it's Roji Biv. Red is curving less than what violet is. So
the rainbow can curve either direction. What do you mean?
So I'm gonna finish explaining. So each one of those wavelengths bends at a different rate. So whenever it's scattering through a median, it's gonna show up differently depending on the bend of that median. So that's why at the end of the days, when the sun is the furthest away and it's right there at the edges, it becomes red and oranges, because then those longer lengths of light are going through the sky, and that's why they show up that way. So blue is the one that is just matching the curve of the Earth to be the one that shows up most prominently with the Rayleigh criteria. That's all that's happening.
Oh my God! Did I really just hear that? Like that's the most
what part of that is wrong?
It's not an argument, dummy.
What part of it is wrong?
Everything about it is wrong. First of all, there is no curvature of the Earth. Second of all, we can mimic all the colors of the atmosphere by subjecting noble gases inside of, say, a sealed tube towards an electromagnetic force to make them fluoresce and show exactly the same colors we see in our atmosphere, which is what the sun is doing. It's the electromagnetic force, and it is ionizing the atmospheric gases.
So you have to have a massive generator of electricity.
The sun,
the density of the median is going to make it.
That would just kill everyone on the Earth. But you say there's no curvature.
There's no curvature. That's right. It's the sun is the electromagnetic force that ionizes the atmospheric gases that gives us daylight and twilight.
What is that? What is that?
What is what? What is what?
That.
Flat.
That.
Flat.
That.
Methinks he's asking
So,
about
Max,
the
can you
curvature you're seeing.
go
I
back
mean,
a
what is the
little bit?
curvature that we're watching right now?
It's a fisheye lens. If you've seen
No,
curvature,
it's a rectilinear lens. Try again.
So wait, before you move on, Ironhorse, you realize if it was a fisheye lens, would you agree
I
that
thought
if
we were
the
talking about atmospheric gases
hold on
and
one
the
second though, would you
light
at least
for a moment. Now we go to curvature.
would you at least agree if the Earth is in the center of frame there, that it wouldn't matter if it's a fisheye lens? So if Max can find a place in that video where the center passes through the center of the screen, would you agree that that no longer is a fisheye effect?
Look, I can tilt my camera any direction and
Right
it's going to show
there.
anything.
Do you agree that in the center? I'm just asking a question. Fisheye lens in the center. Does it still?
That's not the center.
He's going to show you many center plates. What about that?
There, flat. There we go. Perfect.
That's flat to you.
That's flat to
Yep.
you? Oh,
That's
boy.
flat to me.
Now you're just lying. I mean, everybody can see the shape in front of them. You're the only
The
one that
curve
says that's flat.
disappeared. It is flat.
It's not.
my God.
It's not flat. I mean, look at the.
You're just disingenuous. And
Yeah. Oops.
Or show it where it's less than a quarter of the screen. Look at that. It's concave.
No, that's not concave. Liar.
nowhere is it concave.
Boom. Curved.
Boom. Absolutely.
At least be honest with your arguments. If you showed me a picture of flat, I would agree it was flat.
Yeah.
The one in the middle showed it flat.
That's curved. Sorry. I mean,
the one in the middle.
Every time
shows
you
it flat.
every time you say what is on screen is flat, you're just showing that all you have is nah, and like you will even deny it when it's right in front of you. But
Okay.
go back. I'm sorry.
Keep
you made the
going.
claim- go back to there.
Keep going and make it go into the middle.
Go back to that. You were talking about the light and the really criterion and why the sky is blue. Because I'm getting another citation for that.
Keep that going until we can see the screen in the middle, and then we'll see it's flat.
No, you won't see it flat
Always
ever.
flat.
You
will.
won't see it flat ever. No.
Have you
I've
seen the
seen
Red
this-
Bull
I've seen
Felix
this video.
Baumgartner jump when they
I've
open the
seen this-
pod from the inside?
And
I've
that
seen
was
this video.
a fisheye lens, and they
That was
even
a
admitted
fisheye
that it
lens.
was a fisheye lens.
Everything external was fisheye, but from the inside, where it wasn't fisheye, the horizon was flat and at eye level at
No, it
128,000 feet.
So Max, take another minute and find what he's asking for, and then see if he admits it. This video has tons of places where the horizon moves across the center of the lens.
Yeah, it looks like they're all carefully edited to try and show
Oh, now it's careful
what you
editing.
want to believe. Well,
he
it
has to
seems that
stop.
way.
He has to stop the video, so you realize that he, what do you call
That
that?
looks pretty flat.
Again, you can't even admit what you're seeing
Okay.
with your own eyes, my friend. Come on,
That is lovely.
that is
looks
not
pretty flat to
flat.
me.
It does.
It's flat.
See, this is the problem with flat earthers. You can't even admit when it's right in front of you.
Dirt, go. You can go back to speaking about the light. I will do something.
Yeah,
here.
the nature of light is what tells us that it's flat because the sun is the electromagnetic source of that light. And when it ionizes the atmosphere, of course, it's going to create the appearance of a little bit of a curve because it's only going to light the atmosphere that's closest to it. And as it gets further and further away, that's what creates the illusion of curvature. But it's still flat.
None of that is true.
No. So okay, going back to that. So do you think that different wavelengths of light bend at different rates? Or are you saying that's wrong as well?
I don't think that light travels, so it doesn't have a length.
Okay,
We
so how would
demonstrated
that?
that is incorrect
Okay,
already.
so yeah. So how
Hang
would
on. I
how
nearly
would
finished my
seeing work
question.
then?
Yeah, well, definitely.
So if light doesn't travel, so us seeing is light bouncing off of an object. Whatever wavelength of light isn't absorbed comes back to our eye, and then our eye processes that, sends it to our brain, and creates an image. So if light doesn't move, how does seeing work?
So the electromagnetic energy travels, and as it travels like a wave through water, like the water itself doesn't move, what it does as it passes through the particles that are able to accept it, they get excited by it momentarily, and they momentarily illuminate, creating the illusion that light can travel, just like the illusion of a wave travels through a stadium during a Mexican wave. The people are momentarily excited, but the people themselves don't actually move. So the light itself isn't moving. The electromagnetic radiation that causes the effect of light is what's moving.
I love that you just get debunked while you're talking with a phone and a hand. I mean, I can do this all day. Why is the light stopping? Why isn't my hand getting excited the same way that the air and also the energy required to do that would just kill us all? Thank you.
Whatever is receiving that light, the receptor of it is being blocked at different levels.
How do you explain blue and red shift in light if it's not moving?
Yes.
Well, again, it's just the wave itself moving through the medium that creates the illusion of movement.
Can you?
But it's not. It's just.
Can you better explain that? Because what you're saying right now makes zero sense. So what? The wave moving through the medium. What do you mean?
Electromagnetic radiation comes from the sun, right? It creates all the solar radiant energy that creates illumination of the atmospheric gases, but it does it in such a way that it does it so fast that we don't notice the dark periods in between. But it's not anything other than the energy that is moving. It's not the particles that create the light.
What about the moon, which has no atmosphere?
Excited that create the illusion of light. So as it happens in a particular direction away from the source that creates the electromagnetic radiation, that will give that red shift, blue shift effect.
So kind of moving a little bit away from light here. So
Dirt, before you
what
move
you're
on,
talking about,
one quick question.
This will relate directly. So are you trying to say whenever, so I'm going to use electricity here because I think it's the best analogy to represent it. So when current is flowing in a circuit, it's the electrons moving throughout. So are you trying to say that the electrons aren't actually moving?
No, they're not.
So,
oh boy.
Okay. So what do you have to back that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. So when the electrons reach your house, they pass through the meter, and you turn on the switch and you light up a light bulb, are the electrons still moving out of the light bulb?
Yes.
In your opinion? Or are they just emitting a frequency?
Current continues to flow. The current is continuous.
So the electricity is just like leaking out of the wires into your house.
Well, that's why you have a ground. It's to bleed off. So if you didn't have a ground, it would begin to generate a lot of heat and it would burn up the system. So I don't know if you've ever seen in a system whenever it shorts to ground, typically that wire gets burned up because all of that current doesn't have anywhere to go. So it just burns up the wire.
I've got a lot of appliances that don't have a ground wire. How does that work?
What do you mean? What do you think the ground wire is?
See, I think this is where we get lost. I think answering him with science isn't what we need. None of his things are scientific.
Yeah.
Using your analogy, Iron Horse, where you're talking about moving through the medium, why then does the moon light up with no atmosphere? Forget the science and the.
Well, hold on.
The moon only lights up because of the atmosphere. It is lighting up the atmospheric gases that create the plasma apparition of the moon.
So the moon has an atmosphere now?
Jack, before we move on,
the moon projects solar radiant energy down through our atmosphere to create the plasma apparition that we see and call the moon.
So, Iron Horse, a quick question. Sorry, before we move too far away.
Yeah, go ahead.
The two wires coming from your appliance, what do you think those are?
Well, in AC, there's no positive and negative. They're just alternating currency.
Okay, but...
there is positive and negative. They just alternate.
They just alternate. But those two wires themselves, whenever you have the socket on the wall, there are two sockets there. So if there was no need for a ground, why is there two and not just one?
Because you've got to close the circuit.
So
yeah,
you're telling me this is plasma?
I'm telling you that's an apparition of plasma, yes, but it's an apparition projected from a physical object
I
that
butted in.
projects solar radiant energy down into the firmament B that creates that
love the
plasma
word salad. How do
apparition.
you close a circuit?
Oh, come on. Too many questions at a time. If you want to go back and
you
forth
can't
to the
answer any
moon
of them. That's why
when we're talking about electricity, keep it simple,
All right,
stupid.
it was my fault for asking about the moon. I have follow-ups, but let's do electricity first.
we can finish electricity.
Yeah. So can you explain a full circuit to me?
No.
A full circuit is just closed. Everything's connected.
So okay,
All
what are
sorts of resistors
what are
and
all the
transformers
individual
and-
parts? So there's three things typically associated with a basic circuit. What are those?
Well, you've got your positive and your negative, and you've got a connected wire through all sorts of different transformers that are going to do something to affect you.
Transformers? Where are transformers coming in? So
Well,
what does a transformer
resistors,
do? Hold on.
whatever,
You want to throw words out here. What does a transformer do?
A transformer just changes the currency from one to another, like a
No,
resistor.
that is not what a transformer does. That what you're talking about is either a full wave bridge rectifier or an inverter. A transformer is either going to step up or step down voltage depending on which side is the primary and which side is the secondary, and the coil wraps and the ratio between those.
So it transforms it. Gotcha.
No, roughly. So if you have 115 AC coming in and you need to step it down, the primary side will have more than the secondary side, and it'll step down the voltage.
Okay, moving forward.
That's putting it very simple, but that's not
Moving
involved.
forward, that's a closed circuit. Okay, we got it.
No, that's
Gotcha.
not. That's not involved at all in a normal circuit. The three things that are in a normal circuit is a power source, a load, and a ground.
The silence of concession. Thank you very much.
So,
so you mean the Earth is involved? Something that's stationary that grounds it all?
that's not necessarily what a ground is. That it's a
It's
name. You
not the
can call
ground
it
anymore.
neutral.
What's the cloud? Is it? Is it
No.
true?
It can be called a neutral
the
as well.
ground
It depends
becomes
on
the
what you're
ground.
talking about. Because if you're talking about housing,
of course, yeah.
it's called a neutral. But if you're talking about electronics, it's called a ground. It very much like it. There's more than one term, but that's not the point.
So
You're
we've got a
getting stuck on
positive,
what
a
the word
negative,
is.
and a neutral. And the neutral is the ground. Gotcha.
Yes.
Well, I mean, negative is neutral. They're the same thing. They're
Negative is now neutral. So we've got a positive,
depending
a
on
neutral,
what
and a ground.
application you're using it for. So if you're
A
using it in
positive,
a
a neutral,
house,
and a ground. Oh, wow, I'm amazed.
if you're using
I'm
it
getting
in a house,
educated here.
if you're using it in a house, it's a power and a neutral, or a hot and a neutral, depending on how you want to say it. But if you're doing electronics, it's power and ground. They're the same things, different applications, different terms.
That's exactly what I said when I described how the sun works, because we have a positive from the heavenly energies above hitting through the firmament, making contact with the ground. Yeah. And that's how we get that orb of plasma called the sun.
That is just bullshit. That's the problem.
It's exactly what you guys are saying. I'm just putting it onto a bigger scale.
No, it's same word, different meanings.
A
ground in a circuit is not the same as the ground in every case. There is cases where the ground and earth ground is the ground, but it's not always that.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks for clearing that up.
So I think we've established you know absolutely nothing about electricity.
Yes.
Even though electronics was one of the elective subjects I did in year 9 before I went over to the States to learn how dumb people are. Yeah, I know nothing about electronics.
No, you are the dumbest. One of the dumbest.
With all due respect.
Hold on.
I would like to bring this up for a moment. Let me read this to you. And I love the quote, and I just want to get it on here again. The discovery of the aberration of light was soon followed by an explanation according to emission theory. The effect was attributed to a simple composition of the velocity of light with the velocity of Earth in its orbit. So when they did the Michelson-Morley, they already knew for like 200 years that the Earth was moving. What say you?
They already assumed the Earth was moving, but then they found no movement.
No, they didn't assume. They by this time they had already measured stellar aberration to a very high degree for 200
Stellar
years.
aberration. Would you like
Yeah.
to stop there and explain that?
Oh, yeah.
What's stellar aberration? We've seen exact same constellations for thousands of years, and they keep returning exactly where they started.
Oh,
every
that is
year,
that is
year
just
after year.
false. That's easy. That's just
It is
false.
false? Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So tell me how the constellation of Cancer is now different from how it was last year.
No,
or
because we can
1,000 years
literally
ago.
measure, for example, here we have share this stuff. Here we have a bunch of nautical almanacs that document the position of Polaris and its change throughout time. So we have measured the stars literally moving in their position in the sky. So this is just a false claim.
That's just one star, and that's Polaris. And that is how we actually explain how we have this magnetic wobble that you call it, is because as the stars themselves move around Polaris itself isn't exactly in the center. So that slight little aberration as it moves over a 25,000 year period is going to change a slightly different magnetic north, which is why you guys have to come up with true north,
the
magnetic north, geographical north, and all these different
magnetic north
excuses.
has nothing to do with Polaris.
It works for our model.
No, you don't have a model.
We
The
do have a
magnetic north
model.
has nothing to do with Polaris, and no, you do not have a model. So here, in
All
the midst
compasses
of
point north.
Well, wait, time out just for a sec. Just
that is
time
our
out
model.
just for a second. Iron Horse, what is your model? Just so I know.
Our model is that north, the magnetic north is in the center. Rufus Negros, or Black Rock, is directly in the center, and that aligns with the North Pole, which is Polaris. And Polaris wobbles only a couple of tiny, tiny little fractions of a degree around that, which is the aberration that they call the wobble of the Earth.
Nope,
but all
that is
compasses
all
will point
incorrect.
north. So every time you are pointing north, the other end of the needle is pointing outwards. The middle word of south. South is S-O-U-T, out, H. Shh.
That's an
Southward.
etymological fallacy because in Spanish, south is sur. And
I don't only speak English.
one of the first people to navigate the globe were the Spanish. So, yeah, your etymological fallacy fails.
Do they have another word for north as well? You know, like
Yeah,
that's
norte.
okay. Huh?
Yeah,
Norte.
using English as your proof probably isn't a good.
Yeah,
Norte.
yeah.
See, and all of that still in English, with a little bit of elaboration, you could say is inwards and outwards.
Yeah, that is also incorrect.
It's exactly how it is.
No, it's not.
How is
That's
it
an
incorrect if that's
that's
how
an
everybody
etymological-
expected it?
That's an etymological fallacy, dummy.
Okay, well, you can prove that with evidence. Go ahead, prove how that's etymologically incorrect.
It's an etymological fallacy because it doesn't. The meaning of the word has nothing to do with the concept. Words are just an arbitrary collection of sounds that we attribute meaning. It doesn't have any intrinsic value. So we could call north burp, and it wouldn't change. It would invalidate your argument, but it would still be north. And
That's true, but we didn't call it that because the words evolved through the evolution of humanity.
The big problem here is that compasses point north and they also point south.
Yeah. And that's how the words evolved through humanity through a period of time because we associated sounds with what they associated with. So inwards being northwards and southwards being outwards makes perfect sense.
And you just debunked yourself again.
Iron Horse, that's an insane concept that you're talking about.
It's not insane.
If you compare, wait. If you compare one language to another, if you compare one language to another, that would make some sense. But that doesn't make sense when you're talking about the first time a word was invented for something.
Yeah,
it's absurd.
And it's invalidated just by the mere existence of other languages. So
it depends on your own culture, but I can see the correlation in all languages.
No,
they all say the same thing. If you analyze the etymology of every single word that they're using, they all add up, and they're all being used logically because we associate the words with the logical observation that we see. That's why we call light light, because it's not heavy and it's up there and it's light and it's not dark and dense, because the dense stuff is always down. It's how our words work. We evolved our language on observation.
You have no clue how languages work because you're a simple monolinguist.
Wait. You just said something. Iron Horse, you said we developed our language based on observation. So let's say there's no word for light, and light isn't a concept. What are you going to call it? Why would you call it light?
Well, because you know that, let's say the god of light, for example, we're calling it El.
There are no gods.
Again, we don't know what light is.
Let's just assume, though, that we have no other concept, but out of darkness comes light. So what are we going to call him? We'll call him El. So that's where we get electricity and elements. Where you get that from
completely incorrect. Out of the light doesn't come out.
No, we get that because that's what we called it in the first place, and that's why we still use those words.
Whenever I do that, it means that you need to shut the fuck up. Light comes out of a light source. Thanks for playing.
I'm trying to understand you, but you say things that really are silly, and that's one of them.
Light comes out of a light source.
Did you just say light comes from a source?
Yes.
So you're saying that creation has a source, like there's intelligent design?
I never said creation.
You did. You just said light comes from a source.
We all understood what he said. You're the only one that interpreted that.
Light comes from a source, and the source being this light bulb that transforms electricity into light, into photons that travel to my camera so that I can block them. So no one invoked no gods. Don't be dishonest. You know that there are no gods. I mean, or you know that I think there are no gods, so I would never invoke anything like that. So let's keep it real here.
That was exactly what I was just saying.
No,
that your light comes from an electrical source. So we call it
candles.
And luminosity come from the same source. That's why we have Lucifer, the light bearer.
All right, let's not turn
this into... And that's why we have Nox, because Nox means no light, the absence of light. So we have an equinox every year.
You're comparing words to other languages. You're not.
Where's the electricity in the candle?
I'm not comparing it to any other languages.
Where's the electricity in the candle, dummy? Where's the electricity in the candle that I'm holding in my hand?
Light is emanating from the candle flame, Iron Horse.
I am not saying that it is electrical.
What is it then?
So when I say light source, I'm encompassing electric, chemical, and just combustion, right? So I'm invoking all sources. No one said electrical.
I don't understand your question, Max. Are you trying to set me up for another fall that will just make you look stupid
I'd like
again?
to move back to the moon for just a second, if possible.
Yeah, of course.
So when I asked you about the illumination of the moon and why we see it, you mentioned that it's because of the Earth's atmosphere and that light reflecting from the moon to us. Are you now saying that all the pictures from space and everything in space that sees the moon without going through the atmosphere, they have to be fake, correct?
You'll have to give me an example of a picture
there's
of the
plenty
moon
of pictures of the moon from outside of our atmosphere. So that's what I'm saying.
You have one on the screen right now.
I don't believe that's from outside of our atmosphere.
No, that is from a telescope from Earth.
There are plenty of pictures from
when we
the
look
Hubble.
at it through the veil of the atmosphere that
get off the atmosphere. I'm asking you a specific question about from outside the atmosphere. Hubble.
But Max just said it's inside the atmosphere from Earth, mate.
I just said outside the atmosphere.
I can pull up pictures from the moon from space, no problem.
I mean, there's tons of pictures outside of our atmosphere of the moon. To answer the question instead of debating whether or not there are actual pictures, are you saying those are all fake and that it just can't happen?
This one is from outside. This one is from outside the atmosphere.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was my turn to answer a question.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that every time we see an image of the moon, we are seeing it through the atmosphere, and it's the atmosphere itself which is
I'm asking
giving
specifically
the
about
apparition of light.
outside the atmosphere.
This one is from
rule
outside
that
the
out.
atmosphere.
And do you have a source for that?
Yeah. the Artemis 2.
How did Artemis
I mean,
and,
the
how did
North
Artemis
Atlantic
and Apollo
first,
find the
I
moon
don't
if it
wanna
wasn't
be
lit up? I mean, come on.
section.
You're just being disingenuous again. Look, when you get caught on something, at least you could
Of
say, I
course
don't
he's
know.
drunk tonight.
You've never said, I don't know about anything.
I know what I'm talking about when it comes
No,
to the
you
moon.
do not.
Don't.
I've
You have
studied
no
it from
clue.
all sides, and I know that even when NASA
Iron
provides an
Horse,
image of
earlier
the
tonight
moon, the
in the
only time
debate-
it shows an apparition, which is generally a crescent moon, is when it's still within the atmospheric layer close to Earth.
Iron
There's
Horse,
never been a picture
tonight
of the
you were
moon
asked
taken
about
above the
space.
atmosphere that shows it to be the same.
Nah, stop the rambling.
To prove you don't
down
know
here
what
on
you're
Earth.
talking about, tonight you mentioned space and a vacuum. And you said vacuums suck. Vacuums do not suck. Pressure moves from high to low pressure. A vacuum is doing nothing to pull anything toward it. And
So how does a
that's not what you said when you debated Daniel. You said that the atmosphere or the lack of atmosphere in space causes a sucking, and that is 100% incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how does the siphon work?
Argument. Bottom of Mount Everest, 1 atmosphere of pressure. Top of Mount Everest, 0.3 atmospheres of pressure. Where is the container between that? Go.
So
The
how does
silence
a
of
siphon
possession.
work?
Thank you very much.
There's just less atmosphere above you, like being in a swimming pool.
So less
If you've got less
pressure,
water
right?
above you, you're going to have
So
less
less
pressure above
right?
you.
So less
That's
pressure,
right.
correct?
Because
So
there's less volume of air.
why isn't the top of Mount Everest sucking the atmosphere from below?
Why would it?
Then you just debunked your argument. Thank you very much.
No, I didn't debunk my argument. I debunked your argument because it would do so if we're on a spinning space ball in a vacuum of space. But because we're not on a spinning space ball in a
Iron Horse,
vacuum
you
of
actually
space,
did debunk your
the
own argument
atmosphere is at
because
resting pressure.
So
you did debunk your argument because you admitted
I'm
that
debunking your argument, Max.
at the top of Mount Everest,
I know
have
you think you are, but
0.3
you're
Oh my God.
At the top of Mount Everest, you have 0.3 atmospheres of pressure, and the pressure, the 1 atmosphere of pressure, is not rushing up because vacuums do not suck. And he rage quit. Down. There's so many clips from that. That was funny.
Shit.
Holy cow. Icy Spin, the silence of concession. Thank you very much. Yes. Every single time he rage quits, dude. I at the moment he rage quit, I was unmuting him.
I wish he didn't quit because I was actually enjoying the fact that he was answering questions. I mean, I understand he thinks he was debunking you, but he was actually debunking himself. I was also wrong about the reason for the color of the sky. I really thought it was the water vapor, not just the gases. But I admit being wrong.
Hold on, we have Tay got me this. Let's check this out.
Oh, by the way, Iron Horse, I just admitted I was wrong.
Why is the sky
or I
blue?
didn't know. Sorry
In the
about
middle of a bright, sunny day, the sky is usually a shade of blue. Why blue and not purple, green, or orange? Well, it's all because of how the sun's light reaches Earth. If you see light from the sun hitting the ground, it probably looks like plain white light. However, that white light is made up of all the colors of the rainbow. You can actually separate and see
That's so gay.
all these colors if you
Sorry.
shine sunlight through a specially shaped crystal called a prism. Light energy travels in waves, and different colors of light are created by different types of waves. For example, when our eyes recognize the color red, what we're actually seeing is long, stretched out light waves with peaks that are far apart. And when our eyes recognize the color blue, we're really seeing shorter, choppier light waves with peaks that are close together. The different colors of light are all determined by how stretched out the light waves are. Together, all the colors make up the spectrum of visible light, the light we can see. So why do we only see blue light when we look up into the sky on a sunny day? That blue color we see comes from sunlight hitting Earth's atmosphere, a layer of gases that gives us air to breathe and keeps the planet warm enough to live on. When sunlight reaches Earth's atmosphere, it is scattered in all directions by the gases in the air. The types of gases in Earth's atmosphere mostly scatter the shorter, choppier waves of blue light. So when we see a blue sky, we're really just seeing all of those blue light waves scattering in our atmosphere. But wait a minute, why is the sky a different color at sunset? Well, As the sun gets lower in the sky, its light is passing through more of the atmosphere to reach you. So even more of the blue light is scattered away before it gets to you. This allows more of the orange and yellow light to pass straight through the atmosphere and directly to your eyes. However, if the whole sky is glowing red, it could be due to particles of dust, pollution, or smoke in the air. These particles also scatter lots of blue light, which can lead to a very red sky. NASA's Earth-observing satellites monitor how many of these particles, called aerosols, are in our air.
Tay says, I love the fact this video feels like it's directed for kids. It's perfect for flirts. Yes, I love that too.
Oh, and me. I thought it was water vapor, not different gases.
Why was the sun looking like a spotlight? Shouldn't it be spreading out 360 degrees?
Ironhorse, did you notice that I admitted to being wrong? Did you notice that?
Diagram. It was a diagram. It was a demonstration, not a...
I know. That's why. Like, why wouldn't you use an authentic diagram and demonstration to show the sun projecting 360 degrees?
Well, why doesn't he do it at full scale too? Then I mean, that's just silly too. I mean,
so why are you focusing on that part of the video rather
because
than
that's the most important part
information as a whole?
Sunlight.
No, it's not.
No, that wasn't the important part.
Yes, it was. It was about the sunlight hitting the Earth, and you're showing it as a spotlight.
No, it was about the interaction of light and the gas particles in the air. That's what it was about.
Are you punking us, Ironhorse? I mean, this can't be real.
No,
So,
he's
okay.
Punking you. You guys are agreeing with what I'm saying.
No, we're not. You filthy lying bastard.
That the reason we have night is because light only reacts with the atmospheric gases.
No.
No one said that.
Yeah.
Brother,
No, that is not what was said.
that is not what we're saying, you lying drunkard.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
you're
but
saying.
you're
Well,
wrong.
you tell me then
so-
why you have night. Tell me why you have night.
Max, put your flashlight on again and move your hand between it.
Hold on. So, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Nighttime is
Nighttime, daylight, nighttime, daylight.
Or, for example, we have the sun orbiting the camera, and when it's on the backside, you get.
So why can I see your entire room, but the universe
because
looks
there's
dark?
a different source of light.
Oh, for God's sakes! You can't be. This can't be
Because
real.
God.
No, I'm very real.
This
Hold on,
cannot
I'm
be
very
real.
real.
Hold on.
Motherfucker, I have a light right
You
there.
tell me why
and
we
I
have
another light
night.
there.
Yeah. So I want your explanation first, if you don't mind. Can you explain to me how night happens? From your
Yes,
perspective?
because the atmospheric gases stop being ionized by the sun and stop fluorescing. That's why they slowly fade out as the sun goes away.
What is ionization?
Ionization is the excitation from solar radiant energy, which causes them to fluoresce, which gives us daylight and subsequently twilight, and what slowly fades without instantly passing us into darkness like it would if the sun was going beneath the earth and casting us into the shadow of the earth.
None of that is true. Like, absolutely none of it.
It's absolutely how it works every single fucking day of the year.
So
I've
ionization,
seen it a million times.
ionization disproves your point, though, because ionizing of a particle is it gaining or losing an electron. So that means that electron would have to move. So if you want to use ionization, the electrons have
your
to
connection
move.
isn't so great. Could you repeat that?
It's your connection that sucks. I hear him perfectly.
So
I can hear you
ionization-
perfectly, Max.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you're sort of bubbly.
Oh my fucking God! He's really trying the "I don't hear you" tactic, like
Okay.
Ross the other day. That is
Hold
so
on.
dumb.
Try again. I can hear dirt. Okay, now try again.
So ionization is electrons leaving or entering different atoms. So the changing of the amount of electrons is makes it an ion. So it
No, that's completely false. That's not how it works.
Okay, look it
What
up.
happens?
Look
What
it up.
happens is those particles remain static, and as the electromagnetic radiation passes through them, they get momentarily excited, which causes them to illuminate, and that's what gives us daylight and twilight.
Okay, I'm just gonna go a little more simple here. Can you explain to me what electromagnetism is?
No, not really. Nobody knows really what a magnet is, but yeah,
No, the term
it's a
specifically
radiation of energy
electromagnetism.
coming from a source which we call the sun.
You're going too far. Specifically, the term electromagnetism. Where does that term come from?
It comes from observations of things we can see and do. Even if we don't know what they are, we can still see them doing what they do.
No, so electromagnetism comes from the combining electricity and magnetism, electromagnetism, because they realize that those two fields interact with each other and there is an exchange, hence electromagnetism. So if you apply electricity to a magnetic field,
the word, you still haven't told me what it is.
Yeah, yes, but it's a combination of two different things that we observed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that, but what is it?
Literally what I just said. The
interaction. No, it's a combination of two things, but what is it?
When you have electricity running through a wire, because those electricity and magnetism are inextricably tied. When you have electricity going through a wire, it generates a magnetic field along the wire, following the law of the right hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I have an electromagnet, like say they use in a wrecking yard, you know how they use them in wrecking yards?
Yes.
Why doesn't all the cars and stuff get attracted to the wires, but only to the electromagnet?
Because it's amplifying the magnet itself. That's what I was
so
trying to say.
So it's not really the energy running through the wires, is it? It's the force field
No, it is. It's both.
Created by
Two
the
things
electromagnet.
Can be true.
When you have a coil,
that means
it
one is false.
amplifies. But when you have like this wire carrying electricity, the magnetic field around this wire, it's very, very tiny, and it falls off very fast with distance. It follows a cubic inverse cube law, right? Yes. So you coil
I've never seen bits of metal stuck to electrical wires.
When you coil it into a copper coil, then you amplify the magnetic field, and that's how we generate those. You generate a powerful magnet with a coil that has electricity running through it. That's an electromagnet.
So, but that's still got nothing to do with the force field running through the wires, does it? Because we don't even see anything metallic getting stick to the wires, do we?
So Iron Horse, I have a suggestion for you. There's a guy named Styro Pyro who does really good scientific experiments. One of the things he does is hook up 400 car batteries in parallel, and he runs electricity through various things. But he also shows on video and slow-mo, super slow-mo, that when that current of 400 batteries, which is, I think he's got at some points current exceeding 100,000 amps, when it moves through those wires, and these are huge wires, they're like 0-aught wires, he has filmed the entire bundle of wires jerking to the point where if he doesn't secure them down, they will pull themselves violently and pull themselves off of the actual conducting plates that he's trying to run current through. It's a perfect example of how wires generate electromagnetic force within them, enough that high current models, if you don't secure the wires, they will literally move to the point where they can almost disconnect.
Yep, and that's it. But so going back a little bit,
but
can you
again,
explain to me how an AC generator works? And why
that just suggests that the wires are the conduit. That's you need a medium to conduit the energy, and that's pretty much what is happening. Is if you don't control that conduit, the conduit is the wires.
You mean conductor?
And if you're going to send a huge amount of force through those wires, then of course you're going to have to control them in some manner.
Professor Phil Bell yells, "Yes, because an electric field creates a force."
Jesus.
Yeah.
Thank you, Phil.
Okay, so hold on. Let's. I want to go to something a little more. I mean, it's not simple, but it is kind of simple. So, how does a generator work?
Oh, I know.
Generator is basically through friction, and a lot of friction, and it's put through a transformer to create electricity.
No, not friction.
Okay, why do you keep saying transformer?
Because that's what it's doing. It's transforming petrol into electricity.
So
there's a permanent magnet and there's copper, and it's spun through the magnetic field, and that's going to create AC. So what? Jeez, hold on. Give me a second.
I've never seen a generator that works without fuel. Put it that way.
Oh, what are hydroelectric dams, dumbass? What are windmills?
That's
what
still a force of energy.
Plants? So no
that's
oil.
The force
so
of energy.
So no petrol then, dumbass.
Being transformed into
So no
electricity.
petrol then.
Okay. There's
no petrol then.
Many types of generators.
No petrol then, correct?
Okay, no
petrol then, correct?
Okay,
yes,
Max,
no.
you win. Yeah, you
no
got
petrol
me.
yet. Okay. So you can generate electricity without petrol, correct?
Correct. But we're talking about an electrical generator that runs off fuel. That's
or no,
I thought was the question. I thought that was the question I was being asked. Forgive me for not thinking outside the box. That there's many types of turbines that work off other forms of energy that transform it into electricity.
Yes, but
you made a silly claim that only runs.
My bad. My bad. Sorry, Max.
Okay.
I forgot to think.
Yeah, you do that all the time.
Ah, my bad.
Dude, that's what's been happening every step of the way since you joined. Like, I hope you realize that.
No, I hope you realize that I'm debunking your spinning space ball every step of the way. Because if the Earth was spinning, we could harness that energy. Like, it'd be huge.
How would you do that?
Oh, just stick a stick in the air.
What's the speed of the Earth?
Which one?
The rotational speed.
The rotation is about 1,035 miles an hour at the equator.
That is incorrect. The rotational speed of the Earth is one turn per day, which is 0.0064. If you see, I have vinyl decks right there. Those spin RPM. Sorry. If you see, I have vinyl decks right there. Those spin at 33 1/3 and 45 RPMs. That is so much faster than the spin of the Earth. The Earth spins twice as slow as the hour hand on a clock. That is very slow.
Look, as much as you love to obscure reality into your tiny little equations, the reality is if you are spinning 25,000 miles per day in one rotation, then the equator is going to be going 1,035 miles per hour, which is 1 1/3 times the speed of sound.
Let me ask you a question.
No one cares.
I mean, this is sort of verging on. Iron Horse, why would you be able to stick a stick in the air and generate power?
Well, when I say stick, I mean like an antenna, because if we're spinning 1 1/3 times the speed of sound and we're orbiting the sun at
forget all that. I'm asking a simple question.
No, I'm not forgetting all that. That's the answer to your question.
Hold on. You're saying that air rapidly moving across the Earth, you could stick a stick in the air and generate electricity. How exactly forget the mechanics of the solar system. Let's just say we're on Earth and there's 1,000-mile-an-hour wind. What's the stick or the antenna in the air going to do to generate electricity?
Friction.
Same as any turbine. Over the stick is going to generate electricity?
Same as any turbine, yes, it will. It'll pick up the electrons.
Well, you said a stick, you didn't say a turbine. If you direct airflow across a turbine, you can turn.
You said antenna, not a turbine. You should really stop drinking if you're going to continue debating because you're getting railroaded.
I'm getting asked multiple questions at the same time, which none of them are correlation to one another. Are we on a globe or being asked multiple questions?
That is true, and you have failed every single one of those questions.
Are we on a globe?
Iron Horse, the one thing you've never said tonight is I don't know or I don't fully understand, and that's concerning.
We are on a globe. Would you like to ask me
everything I have answered is based on knowledge and facts.
No, everything is based on
I have to try and straw man your argument.
Everything you've said is just you being drunk and dumb.
Well, hold on.
I have to try and straw man your argument to try and make it fit, or I have to tell it how it is as it exists in reality. Either way, I have an answer.
Iron Horse, hold on. Let's not get it back into semantics. You have nothing to back up what you're saying, which is concerning. There's not a. Can you name a single accredited book or university or anything that just backs up what you said? because you have to understand that from a globe Earth side,
I didn't get a chance to speak, mate. What are you talking about?
You have said made quite a few claims
I
tonight.
keep getting shut down every time I
Iron
try
Horse,
to say
you have
anything.
made a lot of claims tonight. I will admit you're being
I
hit
can't
by 3
answer
different
a
people.
single thing without you or Mac
The
speaking over me.
ambulance.
That's not
the
true. You said
ambulance
how
is on
light
its
works.
way.
Okay, so sorry, I had to take a second. So getting back to what I was saying with the generator. So do you remember the question that I asked you?
The question: how does a generator create electricity?
Yes. So it's a coil moving through in between two magnets, or the magnets moving around the coil, whichever one, and that will generate alternating current. The reason why it alternates is the going through the different flux lines. I'm super stripping this down, so hold on. So the faster that you rotate it, the higher frequency that you're going to get, because the distance in between the peaks or the valleys, whichever one you want to measure from, will shorten because it's moving faster. So with all of that, getting back to it, can you tell me the difference between force and torque? Because I'm trying to get like a baseline of where to start to talk to you and not talk past you.
Just talk to him like he was a 5-year-old.
You didn't even bring up force or torque in that
I
description.
did. That's the problem right there.
Well, what I said is that you have an internal combustion engine creating a turbine, which is going to turn something, which is going to create the friction, which is going to create.
So how is that turning measured? What is the force measurement? Is it measured in newtons? Is it measured in torque? What is it measured in when you're measuring rotational force?
Who fucking cares? You can measure it in horsepower, man.
Everyone
you can
cares
measure
because
it in horsepower. You're measuring it in whatever man-made freaking interpretation of the force you want to call it.
But I thought it was an interpretation earlier.
It is. Everything's interpretation. What are you talking about?
Our interpretation gives us iPhone 16 Pro Maxes. So
you can call it Mach, you can call it kilograms, you can call it miles per hour. I don't care what you call it. It's a man-made convention that you agree upon.
Iron Horse, this is where somebody would typically say, "I don't know," or "I can't answer that exact question," and it's okay to say that.
It's a non-question. It's not even a question.
No,
it is a question, and I'm about to explain the difference.
Because our interpretation gives us Formula One cars and
exactly
jets.
So the reason why trucks are measured in torque is because that's the measure of force of the wheels, and the more torque they have, the more weight that they can pull because they're generating more rotational force.
Okay, but still a word.
Yes, but when you're just saying a force pushing against the wall and torque, you're talking about two different things. One is a rotational force, the other one is just a linear force. And I'm super simplifying this, so it may not.
Yeah, of course, everything gets super simplified so we can understand it in human terms. But in reality, things just do what they do because that's what they do. And when we apply certain forces, that's what they do. So we can give them
what they do,
names,
but
we can
explaining them is not
simplify
the
it, we
same.
can create equations, but they're still going to do what they do.
That's a lovely
but if you can't use the proper words to explain the phenomenon, then you do not have enough of a base to understand what is happening within that system.
I can still understand what's happening. Just because I don't know the technical terms doesn't mean I don't understand what's happening.
Oh, you definitely don't understand what's happening.
It's not even a technical term. It's just two different ways. You don't measure rotations in miles per hour. You can either do in radians or degrees.
What don't I measure in miles per hour?
Rotational speed. You don't measure it in miles per hour. You can either measure it in radians or degrees. Or
so why do I measure my speed of my car in miles per hour?
To make it make sense to you.
So
okay,
I'm going to jump in here. Wait. Hold on.
Whoa.
I'm going to jump in on Iron Horse's side. Let me jump in on Iron Horse's side for just a second here, okay? When he said the Earth's surface would be moving at a certain speed, I understand he's saying that the surface in relation to a fixed point in space. I can understand that. It doesn't matter if it's correct or not from a scientific terminology. I understand what he was saying. I think we can all agree that we can at least comprehend what he was trying to illustrate, right? In good
Now that
faith.
makes it correct. If
Hold
you can
on.
understand it.
Wait.
Because it has
Don't lose my don't lose what I'm saying here. Being able to explain it in proper terminology is different than being able to state something and just say and have people understand what you mean. Dirt is trying to tell you that what you said is just incorrect if you were trying to and I'm trying to say the opposite in that I understood what you mentioned, but it's irrelevant because you're talking about two different things. And my concern still is, Iron Horse.
What two different things?
Tonight.
Hang on. What two different things?
Hold on for 1 second.
Things?
A couple
what two
times
different
tonight.
Things?
Dirt is talking about rotation and rotational force. You are talking about linear movement from across a fixed point.
So it's one thing.
No, it's two. Did you just hear me say two different things?
That's my point. They're not the same.
That's one thing.
Okay, explain how they're the same, please.
It's the same thing. Rotation.
In your head, you're trying to say the same thing, but it's not the same thing, is what Dirt is saying. And if you're not going to use the right terminology, then people have a hard time in accepting your explanations. I think that's really what I'm trying to boil down to.
Understanding how you can call them two completely different things to describe exactly the same thing.
Okay, do you understand what linear moving past a fixed point means?
Yes.
And do you understand rotation?
Yes.
Okay, did I say the same thing or did I say two different things?
But the rotation is the movement we're talking about.
Right, but it's not a linear movement across a fixed point.
Why not?
It's because it's by the very word. Look up the word rotation.
Yeah, but the rotation
I'm not trying to be funny,
is
but
the movement. It's the linear movement.
The fact is, we understand what you're saying. Okay,
there's something the size of a 4,000-mile radius.
Yeah, can I phrase this a little different so maybe you understand? So if I told you I walked a mile today, is it the same thing as me saying I ran a mile today?
Pretty much, you went a mile.
Okay, but what's the difference in those two?
The speed that you traveled 1 mile.
Okay, so the speed in which I did it. Now, if I said I ran a mile from my house to someone else's house, or I ran a mile around a track, what changes there?
Pretty much nothing. You just ran a mile.
So, one, I went a certain distance. One, I went in a circle. So there's a few things that changes.
So you went in a circle. That's still just a mile.
I think we could. If you looked up the word linear right now, Iron Horse, I think we would end this confusion you have.
Look, if you wanted to talk about hang on a second. If you wanted to talk about linear, in the day that the Earth travels 25,000 miles around its
don't confuse it. Don't confuse it.
Hang on, I'm not.
Yes,
I'm telling you that the linear direction that the Earth has moved in that same 24-hour period is 1,600,000 miles.
Okay,
its orbital direction has moved almost a degree around the sun.
And what does that mean? So we're okay with that. So
1,600,000 miles.
Yes.
While it spun on its actual rotation, 25,000 miles. That's what it means.
Twice. And what does that mean? Effectively, we agree with you. Now what?
Yeah, that's not a big number. Scary is not a problem for us. So what's this? That's a line, right? And this is a circle. So linear and rotation.
Yeah.
Different
so
things,
you have to make that line 65 times further.
Iron Horse, we agree with you.
Of that circle to show what the Earth does in a single day.
We agree with your
minutia. This is
Iron Horse.
We agree the reality of your belief here, guys.
Iron Horse.
We
agree that. Do you not accept when someone's in agreement with you?
It's not a belief.
Your comment is so dumb. You killed. Yeah.
That's on you, buddy. You killed Witsit.
You killed Witsit, dude.
So, Iron Horse, real quick. We concede to your distances and your speeds. Now what? Effectively, what does that mean? What are you trying to say by that?
Why would you concede to those distances and speeds?
Because
one of them is 1 1/3 times the speed of sound. The other one is 10 times faster than an electromagnetic railgun projectile through a vacuum of space. And you think that clouds are just going to waft around us while we're doing that?
The atmosphere is rotating with the Earth.
Oh my God, I can't believe I have to show you this.
And you know this. You know that's what we're going to say.
That's just a catchphrase. The atmosphere
no, it's not a catchphrase.
I know. But when you are
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
When you are on a thing that is moving, like for example on this train, the coin is moving because it's inside the train. The coin is moving at the 350 kilometers per hour that the fucking train is moving. So conservation of momentum, stupid.
So you're saying that the Earth is inside the train? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, the Earth is the train.
The Earth is the train. So we're sitting on the outside surface of the train, and you're trying to tell us we're a coin inside of it. Make up your mind, Max.
Yeah, gravity holds us to the surface.
I think you're being disingenuous again. I know
No,
you understand this analogy.
That's the falsest analogy I've ever seen.
It's not.
Get on the roof of the train and throw it up in the air for 10 meters and tell me it's going to land back in your lap.
What's the difference
wait.
between...
Hold on, 1 second. Let me run. Okay, let's do that. We'll be on the surface of the train, and then we'll put the train inside of a gigantic long vacuum chamber. Then you wouldn't have wind on your face, dummy. The Earth is a train that's going through a vacuum.
You're insane. That is the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, time out.
Brainwashed. You got no idea of your own model. You use false analogies all the time.
Iron Horse, now you're just platforming. Time out for a second. What Max said is in every single accredited textbook in the world. Every single accredited college, every physicist would tell you the same thing. When you say it's absurd, hold on, just let me finish. When you say it's absurd,
no, you've made the claim. Show me one textbook that says this.
In the exact language he just gave it.
Momentum?
Show me one. Show me one textbook that says this. That in a vacuum, if we throw something 10 meters into the air, it's going to land back in our lap as we're speeding 88 times faster than the speed of sound.
Wait. Hold on.
It doesn't even have to be in a vacuum. You can do that in your car.
It has to be in a vacuum because that's where your spinning space ball is.
No, it doesn't have to be in a vacuum. In your car, it would do the same thing.
No.
Yes. If you flip a coin in your car, it's going to land exactly back where you flipped it from.
That's because my car has a windscreen. Where's the windscreen?
That's because your car. That's right. But the analogy you're trying to deny is that we, science and people that everybody else besides you says the atmosphere rotates with the Earth. And if that's true,
prove how the atmosphere moves with the Earth through a vacuum of space. This is the dumbest argument I've ever seen.
It's dumb to you, but you're the only one saying that without any citation to prove it.
No, because when you are taking off of a moving object like that, is he going 10 meters into the air?
A helicopter taking off the ground.
Single second of drop to see what would happen once you lose that momentum. This thing is moving so
let me ask you this question then. Let me make this real simple analogy. At the equator, let's say you're 1,025 or whatever, acknowledged, admitted, okay? Now, the atmosphere is moving with the Earth. Now, let's say you do 50 feet from the North Pole, the center of rotation, not the magnetic North Pole, but the physical North Pole. Now, how fast would you be moving, or that air supposedly moving past you? Because it doesn't do it at either place. So what's the difference then?
Exactly. The Earth isn't moving.
No,
it's insane.
It is definitely moving.
It's definitely
a deadly cyclone, like a deadly hurricane or cyclone, moving 175 miles per hour is going to smash down cities.
Speaking of hurricanes and cyclones, why do they rotate at different speeds in the different hemispheres?
No.
And yet,
different
rotational
perfectly directions.
Still air is moving at least 5 to 6 times faster than devastating hurricane cyclonic winds. Just to appear to be perfectly still.
You should have talked about hurricanes. Why don't they cross the equator? This is 200 years.
Put your head out the window and tell me that
This is 200
5
years
times
of
faster than a hurricane.
We'll
this is
do one
200
question at a
years of
time.
hurricane history. Why don't they cross the equator?
Because the sun goes around the equator.
What does that have to do with?
And just like I'm answering the question. Shut up, Max. Stop laughing like a little bitch. When the sun goes around the equator, it's just like when a boat goes through the ocean, you will see vortices spiral away either side in the.
You're saying air vortices, just to understand. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And so they will spiral away either side of the sun when it's most superheated in that particular season.
But on your map, the sun doesn't rotate directly over the equator all the time. You guys have northern and
That's
southern.
right. And that's why we have cyclones during the summer season, not during the equinox.
Why do they rotate in different directions?
Because they spiral away like vortices in the wake of a boat.
But if you think about it, the sun is moving. Wait! I'm not going to let you get away with that one. The sun is moving one direction in your model. Things above the line of the sun and things below the line of the sun moves past them in the same direction. On our model, no. On your model, you can't say that. You know that's not true.
In your model, the Earth is the one spinning.
Yes.
And all of the atmosphere should be spinning in the same direction as the Earth. So why do you get it that way?
The Coriolis effect is what you're not accounting for.
I'm talking about the Coriolis effect, and I'm asking you, how do you get that when the entire Earth is spinning in the same direction?
Because of what we explained to you about when a sphere rotates. You can test this yourself. If you have a swiveling, a rotating chair, you can start rotating in the same direction. You look up and you're looking the rotation one way. You look down and the rotation is the other way.
So this is easy, Iron Horse. If you hung a string, an orange from a string, and rotate, just spun it and looked at it from above it and below it, you would see two different directions of rotation.
Yep.
This isn't due to perspective, really. This is due that it is technically, but
I think a better way of explaining it was say you had a bathtub, like just to give a localized example, and you run your hand through the water, you're going to see vortices spiral away either direction of it.
No. You're going to see. No, that's not true. You're going to see the motion through the water is the same, left to right, right to left. Whatever you say, things above and below the motion you just created will move in the same direction.
I'm talking about the vortices in the water itself.
I know exactly what you're saying. But think about what you're saying, Iron Horse.
Have you been in a boat? Have you ever been in a boat?
Think of what you're saying. Iron Horse, think about your bathtub analogy. It's completely still water, and you move your finger in the water from one side to the other, left to right. The water above gets affected left to right. The water below gets affected left to right. There is no difference in direction.
What the fuck, mate? Water is at the same level. There's no water above or water below.
Are you listening to what I just said?
Yes. You just said complete and utter shit. There's water level.
You tell
me.
There's
water level, and you move your finger through it. You're going to create vortices spiraling away either side, going opposite direction.
Max, how you doing?
Can you shut up, Max?
No, it's my show. You shut up. Max, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Good to have you back with us. Sorry, I was saying hi to my friend.
Iron Horse, I don't believe you anymore. You're just being disingenuous.
What don't you believe? What don't you believe? Get on a boat.
Let Max get out. Let
Max have his period. All right. Yeah, Max.
Oh, that's adorable.
This is his show, bro.
Have you had your rag yet? You finished?
Let me mute this because I'm not sure if the. Oh, so they're thinking about launching rockets with a spinner? That is cool.
Yeah, so they vacuum out all of the air in it and they spin it, and then at the moment that they stop and launch it forward, the doors are supposed to open. They
have a membrane covering it too. They have a problem with this.
That is epic.
They have a huge problem with this, Max. The centrifugal force is well over 200 Gs, I believe, up to 1,000 Gs.
Oh yeah.
So it will only be good for solid state things,
Yeah. And another issue that they had to contend with is the immediate resistance from the air not destroying whatever they're trying to launch out of it.
Yeah.
So real quick,
Well,
Iron Horse, back to
that explains the Coriolis effect. Fuck yeah.
wait one second, Iron Horse. Back to the
awesome.
tub thing, and then I'm done because I don't think you're being genuine. Picture a tub full of just call it level, perfectly level, still water. Okay, we're good there, right?
A tub, level, water. Yes, gotcha.
Okay. Now you put your finger all the way on the left in the water, and you move it across to the right. We're good still?
Are you in the middle of the water?
All the way at the left edge, you put it at the center of the tub vertically so that you're affecting, right down the middle. So you're not up, you're not down, you're right through the middle. You move your finger in the water from one side to the other, lengthwise. Are we good?
Are you following an edge? Is that what you're saying?
Okay. We call it a rectangle of a bathtub. Lengthwise.
Why can't you just put your finger in the middle, like
okay?
One
Put your
end
finger in the fucking middle. Okay, you
follow
put your
it
finger in the
straight
middle,
to
and
the
you
other
move it to
end.
one side. Are we good? Are we good?
I don't know. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm doing what you
You're not
wanted. You
very
put your
good at
finger in the
describing
middle
it,
and you
really.
move it to one side. Are we good with that concept so far? That analogy?
I mean, I can
From
get
one end
I
to
can
the
get.
other.
Do you want me to get like a thing with water and demonstrate
Can
it?
you get a cup with any
Yeah,
solid
I can do
object?
that. I'll get my
So-
salad bowl. I'll be right
it
back.
really needs to be.
No,
It really needs to be
Max,
long,
get,
but
get a bathtub. We've got to at least have some sense of scale here.
Yeah,
Iron Horse,
hold
you
on.
don't understand. The fact that you claiming to not understand what I'm saying is impossible.
I don't understand what you're saying because you're saying you're running across the edge of a bathtub.
No, I'm not. I said you have a bathtub and we'll call it a rectangle.
Right.
Okay. So lengthwise, we're going to move our finger from one edge to the other. Are we good with that analogy so far?
Down the center.
Down the
Sure.
center vertically, right? Widthwise. Okay.
Perfect. Yes. Okay.
Now, when
Yes.
we move our finger from one side to the other, it doesn't matter which direction, the water above my finger and the water below my finger will get moved in the same direction, and any vortices that form will be the same. Is that not true?
Okay. So I was misunderstanding you because I was thinking when you said above your finger and below your finger, I thought you meant
Either
Depth-wise,
side.
no.
like-
If that was confusing, then no. I mean the
Either
horizontal
side.
above and below.
But say we're looking from one end and one's to your left
Okay.
and one's to your right. Is that
Now, so
better
in
analogy?
your model, in the flat Earth model, the sun moving it's basically a circle above the equator.
Yeah.
And anything above that circle of the equator and below that circle, because the sun is moving in the same direction, it's going
the
to
left or right of that circle would be better than above or below?
Right, but
if
you're
you
not
don't
going to get the opposing Coriolis effect that we're seeing on a globe. You're going to get basically the same rotation.
Why? It would work like your finger in the tub, and it's say you got a large swimming pool instead, and you're running your finger in a big circle. You're going to get vortices spiraling either side of your finger.
Yes.
Which would work exactly how we see hurricanes and cyclones work on the
that's
planet.
not exactly how we'd see it, because the vortices are going to be pulled by the same direction in the water.
Yeah, but they're still going to be going left or right.
No, they're
vortices
not. You know
of
they're
the
not.
finger
That's
creating
ridiculous.
force.
All right, I give up.
moving through the water.
I give up. I'm just going to mute.
Okay, let's do this. We've asked you a bunch of questions. You failed every one of them. I'll let you ask me questions for a little bit, but before we do that, let me.
But I'm going to credit him with answering the questions.
Tori Hanso, he gets like 0.25 credit for at least try, but he failed.
Agreed.
Tori, for 50 secs, thank you so much. The books Iron Horse asks for exist. Just freaking search or ask an AI to help you find them. Thank you so much. Hackerman has been a member for 2 months. Says, hey, Max, woohoo, 2 months. Let's go. And Max, for 5 Singaporean dollars, says, thank you for that lovely warm welcome and for letting the Nazi grandpa know he's a dumbass and a loser. Yes. All right, Iron Horse, what questions do you have on a
Hold on. Can I hit one thing? The whole reason
I'm
for that
wondering why you
video
can
really quick?
promote such idiots like that. Like you actually think people promoting pro-Nazism?
Yeah, you're a Nazi scumbag. Yes.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
an
definitely
Australian. I have nothing to do with the German National Socialist Party whatsoever. I don't know why anybody thinks I'm a
Nazi.
Nazi.
We all know that.
I don't know why anybody thinks that, and I think that you're a racial hatred prick for even suggesting that I might be a Nazi.
Oh, but you are a Nazi. So
there you go. You're a racial hatred prick.
How am I discriminating you based on what race?
You just called me a Nazi.
Yeah, you are a Nazi. Yes.
That's racial hatred. You're a prick. You're a horrible person. Then you should be deplatformed for creating such racial hatred.
Is Nazi a race, dumbass?
I don't know. To me, it's a national socialist party from Germany back in the 1940s. It's got nothing to do with me whatsoever.
It has nothing to do with socialism, dummy. No, you're
that's what the
wrong.
national. That's what Nazi means. National Socialist Party of Germany.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know what you're even talking about. Mm-hmm. You're accusing me of racial hatred with the same things that paint you as the most ugly, despicable, uneducated idiot on the internet.
Should we call you a ambulance?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead and ask what questions would you like to ask?
They didn't want to ask me nothing because I fucking trounce you on everything.
No, you have failed every single question we asked you today.
Oh, you're asking me to ask you a question?
Yes, dummy. Keep up, please.
It's hard to hear you because you speak with a really ugly accent.
I think he's asking you, Iron Horse.
We've asked you questions after him, Iron Horse.
Motherfucker!
Sorry.
I speak English better than you.
I understand you perfectly.
I've got a question then. I've got a question.
Yeah.
So when a plane takes off flying towards the east and it's going with the momentum of the Earth, so the Earth is going 1,000 miles per hour towards the east, and it takes off.
The 1,000 miles is only at the equator. The tangential velocity.
Yeah, let's assume it's taking off near the equator.
Okay.
So it's near the equator. It takes off at 1,000 miles per hour, and it reaches a cruising speed of 500 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's going 1,500 miles per hour with the rotation of the Earth, even though the Earth is also going 66,600 miles per hour through the vacuum of space around the sun. We'll ignore that. If that plane then turns around 180 degrees and starts flying back towards the west, is it now going backwards 500 miles per hour?
Yeah, because the speed is relative to the surface.
So it's going backwards 500 miles per hour.
What happens is you can ignore the 1,000 because conservation of momentum when the thing, and I can demonstrate this right now if you want. I have videos of helicopters taking off from moving aircraft carriers. So the plane takes off from the Earth. And the speed that matters is the relative speed between the plane and the surface. It's going 500 miles towards that side. If you turn, it will basically undo all of the velocity this way. It will turn around and go that way. Not a problem.
So it's going backwards 500 miles per hour.
You're mixing velocity with a vector.
Yeah, I think backwards is the wrong term.
The plane takes off and it can do a 180 degree turn and go back the way it came from.
Let's not say backwards though. You started with east, so now it's going west.
So you're confusing velocity.
I'm using backwards as a reference.
No,
that's
with
the direction it took off.
Yeah, that's not.
Please,
a problem.
one at a time. You're making it hard to hear.
No, so velocity is just a measurement of speed. A vector is a speed and a direction. So it's not so much it's going backwards. Its vector has changed. Instead of going 500 miles an hour east, it's going 500 miles an hour west. It's a change in vector, not a change in velocity.
And the reason three people are talking,
I've ever heard in my life.
Iron Horse, the reason three people are talking is because you're going to misinterpret and take this to mean something completely different.
So how is that crazy? So if I
that makes sense.
So if I run 5 miles an hour west, what is my velocity?
5 miles an hour.
Okay, so what was my vector?
5 miles an hour west.
No, my vector was 5 miles an hour east. Now, if I turn around and I run 5 miles an hour, the opposite.
Explain that.
A vector is a speed and a direction.
Yeah, but you traveled west.
Oh,
so how are you traveling 5 miles an hour west?
I might have mixed up the directions. I apologize for that. So if I run 5 miles per hour east, if I run 5 miles per hour west, my vector is 5 miles per hour west, but my velocity is just 5 miles per hour. If I turn around and run east, I still have a velocity of 5 miles per hour, but my vector is changed to 5 miles per hour east. Or west, whatever, the opposite direction. They're not the same thing, though. Velocity and vector are two different things.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
How is that insane?
That is
Get off the internet, you insane person.
How is that? Okay, hold on. Explain to me what is wrong about it before you just say that I'm dumb and wrong.
That is insane. You have traveled east or west 5 kilometers an hour. That's it.
Yes.
Dude,
okay.
You know that you have the speed, which is like the numerical value, and then you have velocity, which is the vector that includes the amount and the direction.
Yeah, they're two different things.
If you have two engines that are pushing opposite at the same, let's say 5 miles per hour, like you have two cars and you accelerate them 5 miles per hour towards each other, they won't move, right? They will just be there exerting their force, and they will, I don't know, crash. I
don't know how you people ever got so insane. Let's say we have a treadmill. The treadmill is going 10 miles per hour. If you jump onto it and you start running 10 miles per hour with it, you're going to get flung through there. If you start running 10 miles per hour against it, you're going to stand still. That's how it's going to work.
Yes.
But nobody
in relation to the treadmill surface is 10
You're
miles
still
an
going to
hour.
get flung off.
Okay, but now change the direction of the treadmill belt.
Okay. Face it east, face it west, face it north, face it south.
Like
I
that.
don't give a fuck.
Iron Horse,
You're still going to get flung off that freaking thing.
No
matter which direction you face it.
I will
this has got to be Poe.
No, you're so dumb.
No, you people are so stupid. You are insane. Everything you want to do is so insane.
I will demonstrate that you're dumb. Yeah. This truck is going 80 miles per hour, and they launch the guy backwards 80 miles per hour. 80 miles per hour, the guy stands still. Boom, wrecked. Conservation of momentum, stupid.
But even
they counted it out.
Even so, Iron Horse, what are you trying to ask? Forget about forget the analogy completely. You were asking Max a question, and what was your reason for asking the question?
What question?
The Earth was rotating at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. He's flying at 500 miles an hour with the rotation. Then he turns around. What was the reason for the question?
The reason is because when you turn around and start traveling 500 miles per hour, which is measurable, you're allegedly traveling backwards 500 miles per hour.
Well, you got to stop saying backwards. It's now the opposite direction, so west.
It's just the opposite.
Yeah, no, it is backwards. It is backwards because he took off with the
It's the opposite direction.
Well, that's his speed, and so it became 1,500 miles per hour. So if you turn around and turn around and face the other way, and you're going exactly the same speed, instead of going 1,500 miles per hour, now you're going minus 500 miles per hour.
The critical flaw is that the plane will be doing that. So this vector of movement, it won't just flip like that. You have to bleed it off and then start accelerating the other way. Like planes don't just turn around.
Okay.
Hold on, everyone.
Try it on the back of a truck and send off a drone. And send off a drone forwards with the truck going 50 miles per hour, and then turn the drone around and make it go 50 miles per hour back the other way, and try and tell me that drone is going to still go 50 miles per hour
Iron
at
Horse,
the speed of the truck,
decoupling the fact that we say the Earth is rotating.
The other direction.
Jack, hold on. Iron Horse, you're too
that's
you're
your
too drunk to even articulate your point at this
That's my fucking argument. I'm not drunk, man. I'm still sober.
You're slurring your words, you absolute trash bag.
But even if not,
I'm not.
I'm trying to get drunk, putting up with you guys,
Iron Horse, hold on a second,
I'm
because you're being
trying hard
disingenuous
to put up
again.
with you guys, but you have no argument.
Our Iron
All
Horse,
my arguments debunk every single one of
You're
yours.
being disingenuous again. You know that we say that the atmosphere moves with the Earth; they are coupled. Therefore, it shouldn't surprise you. Let's say that it shouldn't surprise you that the speed over the Earth would be opposite direction, west, at 500 miles. You know that's what we're going to say. Why would you even ask the question?
After Max shows
But why does that affect only the Earth going 1,000 miles an hour, but not a truck going 50 miles an hour?
Because the truck
because
isn't.
the speed is relative, you dummy.
Also, the airflow over the truck is going to affect the drone.
Right.
And,
but it doesn't affect the Earth.
Because we don't say that the atmosphere is coupled to the truck's motion. We say it's coupled to the Earth's motion.
I know you say that, but
that explains why that analogy doesn't work.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because it's actually what happens.
Dummy.
Why?
Iron Horse. Here we have a dude flying a drone on a plane that is currently flying. Because the speed is relative. The air inside the cabin is moving at the same speed.
Yeah, because the air is enclosed inside the aeroplane. The air on the Earth is not enclosed in anything. We're in a vacuum of space.
You should rephrase that. For the
There's
analogy
air on
to
the
work,
plane, by the way.
The analogy to work, Iron Horse, the air is coupled with the motion of the airplane inside.
Yeah.
Which is what we say about the atmosphere of the Earth.
Because the airplane is enclosed and pressurized.
It doesn't matter why, because you don't believe the reason. But the reason why you gotta stop saying you don't use the right words, buddy. Half your problem is you don't know how to describe what
you're the one who can't understand.
One second. Hello. Icy Spring wanted to say something, and then I'll give you, Tony, a turn.
Okay. Yeah, just Iron Horse. Imagine that you were watching the demonstration of the airplane that you suggested from the moon. Moon rotates slow enough relative to the Earth that you could see the demonstration. If you could zoom all the way in and see the airplane, and it was flying east with the rotation of the Earth, it would look to you like it was going with the rotation of the Earth, and it would be accelerated at a high speed, about 1,500 miles an hour. If it then did a U-turn and it came back and was flying the other direction, as it goes with the Earth, it looks like it would be going 1,000 miles an hour less. So it would be going, what you said, 500, right?
500 miles an hour backwards.
Yeah, it would look like it was still moving with the rotation of the Earth, but at a speed about 1,000 times slower than it was initially. And it's because you're not in the Earth's reference frame.
I need to actually say some stuff here.
Yes, 1 second. Max, for $5 Singaporean, it's not insane. You're just too dumb, Iron Horse, and uneducated.
Okay.
One of those can be
If you want to believe
I
that,
get to talk now, Ross. Nice try, but I get to talk. Velocity.
If you want to believe that,
velocity is a vector. The person who was saying that velocity is different from a vector earlier, and it wasn't Ross, that person is dead wrong. IC Spin was just saying that a velocity involves an acceleration. That if you're looking at the motion at that experiment, you would see an acceleration, you would see a velocity. But velocity is a relative measurement. In order for velocity to be meaningful, you need to define very precisely what your origin is, what reference frame you are using. So let's recreate Ross's example from the ground up. The plane is on Earth. The Earth at the equator, there is a tangential velocity of 1,000 miles per hour.
What about orbital speed, Tony?
Your example didn't use orbital
speed. No, I don't need to use that in my example. That's going to come later, which is now later.
When you ask the question, when you ask clarification, you shut the fuck up while you're receiving the clarification.
66,000 miles per hour.
Is it?
That's the orbital speed.
Really? Because speeds are usually measured in kilometers per hour, aren't they?
Okay, 100,000.
You live in Australia, don't you? Australia uses the metric system.
100,000 kilometers per hour.
Okay. What's your reference frame there? What are you using as your reference frame?
orbital speed around the sun.
What is your reference frame? What is the origin you are using?
The sun and our
Okay, so
orbital
you're using the
speed
center of mass.
around it, even
So
though
you're
it's going
using
a
the
million miles
center
an hour
of
in another
mass of the
direction.
sun. You're using the center of mass of the sun as your reference point. Okay, fine. Carry on.
You're the one carrying on, bro. You're the one telling
No,
us we're going.
when you
You're the one
constructed
telling us
your
we're going
example,
100,000
when
kilometers an
you
hour around
constructed
the
your
sun.
when you constructed your example earlier, you did not use the orbital velocity. You used tangential velocity due to the rotation of the Earth.
That's
I
correct.
started
I had
to
to
explain.
simplify it down for you,
And
dum-dums.
clarify this example, and now you're yelling about orbital velocity around the sun. So you obviously
right.
want to construct a different example. Go ahead and construct your different example.
That's because I had to dumb it down for you dum-dums to simply talk about the actual rotation of your spinning spaceball fantasy that you believe in. I had to dumb it down to that much before I could even talk about the orbital speed as well, because you have to include both. But we'll just talk about okay, your actual rotation of 40,000 miles per hour.
Why do you have to include both velocities? Galilean transforms mean that actually, as long as the velocity is reasonably constant, you don't have to include the velocity in any physics calculations. The laws of physics are completely unchanged in an internal system, regardless of how fast it's going, as long as it is going at a reasonably constant velocity. You understand
that's because any
right?
claim made without any evidence can be dismissed without evidence, so we don't have to worry about
we showed you a demonstration earlier of a drone inside a plane. The motion of the drone inside the plane was unaffected by the velocity of the plane. You can construct an almost infinite number of examples. You can throw stuff inside a car, and the velocity of the laws of physics are not changed by the velocity of the car, as long as that velocity is reasonably constant. If the car undergoes an acceleration, then you're talking about then you can start varying things. But as long as the velocity of the object that you're in is reasonably constant, it doesn't have any impact on the mechanics of systems inside.
I didn't realize we had the man here. If you were in a car and you're driving down a freeway and you're going 100 kilometers per hour and you throw a coin 10 meters into the air, do you really think that's going to fall back into your lap? Of course not.
That gets caught by wind, but that being said, hold on.
Where's the interstellar wind? Sorry, where's the interplanetary wind coming from? Iron Horse?
You are correct. I did use the wrong term. I apologize.
Are we on a planet or not?
Wrong.
We are on a planet, but you're claiming that there is some wind. You're claiming that there is some wind that will affect objects if you throw them high enough. Where is that wind coming from? If you throw something high enough from the Earth, where is the wind coming from that will affect its motion?
Well, it's not the wind, is it? It's just the atmosphere
right.
itself.
So your fucking objection is meaningless, isn't it?
So how can a planet be moving at all these fathomable speeds and the atmosphere is not? But it is.
The atmosphere. So the entire Earth system has preserved its angular momentum, right? It started
what about wind?
If you're going to ask a fucking question, shut up long enough to at least hear the first sentence of the answer, you intellectually dishonest, anti-Semitic douchebag.
Well, what about the wind?
I noticed that you don't deny that you're an anti-Semite.
No. Oh, I think Semites are cool.
Right. You think Jews are cool, do you? Because the last time we spoke on this topic, you actually said that you can't be an anti-Semite because Jews deserve to be discriminated against. I heard you say those words in person. Have you
Jews?
changed?
Oh, we're talking about
have you
Jews now. I
changed
thought
your
we were talking
stance?
about Semites.
Have you
Make up your
changed
mind.
Notice the attempt. Notice the attempt to change the topic now.
How about we just talk about physics, Tony, and leave
How
out
about
racial
you
discrimination for a second?
deny that Jews deserve discrimination? How about you say that isn't true?
Tony, please get back to the topic.
We're on topic. This was a topic that was raised earlier by Max, right?
Let's not talk about what's happened in the past and what happened to different races of
Notice
people.
everybody
Let's talk
in
about
the
here
chat.
and now.
Notice everybody in the chat
the
that
physics
he
of
will
the earth.
not say that Jews do not deserve to be discriminated against. Notice how he.
Tony, can you please stop going off on a tangent?
So, Iron
fine. Let's get back.
Tony, just talk about the topic at hand.
He was going to.
Yes, you're a raging anti-Semite. That's the topic at hand.
No, that is racial discrimination, and you're a prick.
Okay,
You're a fucking cunt.
So
You're a dirty, filthy, fucking white bread piece
hold
of shit.
on. Hold on, Iron Horse. You can spout your bullshit in a second.
$5 Singaporean says, Tony, please don't call me out on being a Nazi. I'm also a coward.
And a fucking idiot.
So for integrity here, I will say, yes, I was wrong. I was using the wrong word. I should have been saying scalar, not velocity. That is my bad. Velocity is a vector.
Velocity is the vector. Speed is the scalar.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I should have been saying
Yeah,
speed.
but the Semites,
that is my
mate.
fault.
Fucking hell.
I suggest we
Tony,
just get.
He's off on a tangent.
I suggest we just stop the personal stuff and just go back to.
Fair enough.
I would appreciate that because we were having a good conversation before.
Don't push it too far, Iron Horse.
So now we understand that velocity requires that you specify exactly what origin point you're using against which velocity is measured. Okay. So now we can go forward. Yes, the Earth moves at 100,000 kilometers an hour approximately around the sun. This speed actually varies throughout the year and is measurable. We can measure this speed by looking at the Doppler shifts of stars and the aberration that stars experience.
What makes it vary, Tony? What makes it vary if we're following the sun through the galaxy?
The fact that our orbit is elliptical.
What makes it vary, though? How does it become elliptical if everything in motion should stay in motion? What is the variable that makes it slow down and speed up?
Your question is a non sequitur. Not all variables.
It is a direct question to your claim.
No, it isn't.
That you said it's variable.
Said
it's variable. What makes it slow down or speed up?
There is a trade-off between proximity to the sun and velocity. This is true of any orbit. In any orbit, the closer you are to the body you're orbiting around, the faster your velocity around it.
And so why do we still get 24 hours in every day?
We don't get 24 hours in every day.
We do get 24 hours in every day.
No, we don't.
I can measure it with a clock.
Only very slackly, because actually there are variations in length of day.
No, very precisely.
Because Earth,
24 hours.
And I've shown you the data before, and you whined about being shown data, but you have been shown the data that Earth's rate of rotation, Earth's angular velocity varies through time. It is not constant. It varies according to tidal forces. It varies because of that. This is why we have leap seconds.
Why are you lying, man? Why are you lying?
I'm explaining something that you apparently don't know.
We have 24 hours in a day.
We have leap seconds because of Earth's slowing rotation. Earth's rate of rotation is not a constant. That's a lie. It's demonstrably a lie. I can bring up the data if you want.
Yes, bring up the data, please.
Let me also note, Iron Horse, that you were talking about orbit and then you changed to day, which is rotation. So you're completely
that was a non sequitur.
Lost.
Yeah.
They're both related. You can't have one without the other. If you're going to orbit on the axis or orbit around the sun and spin on the axis,
have an orbit without rotation. You can be tidally locked.
They're related.
You can be tidally locked to the body that you're orbiting around. This is why we see the same. This is why we see the same side of the moon, because it's tidally locked towards us.
That makes no sense, though, if we're tightly locked to the sun, does it?
We're not
It
tightly
can't be
locked to the
possible.
sun, are we?
That would make the moon have to speed up and slow down as it went around
We
us
are
if
not
we were
tightly locked to
sun.
the sun. Where did you get that from? All I said that it is possible in some orbital configurations for there to be no rotation relative to the body that you're orbiting around.
Yeah, if we were tidally locked to the sun, one day would be 27. One day would actually be 27 days. That just doesn't happen.
And
that would be off the moon. The moon would have to rotate around us, sometimes faster and sometimes slower, and have to speed up and slow down all the time. And yet it stays a constant distance from us throughout the entire month.
It doesn't. The moon does not stay a constant distance from us.
It's constant enough.
That's why the size of the moon in the sky is measured to the angular size of the moon in the sky varies because it does not stay constant. And in fact, the distance to the moon is increasing by 3 centimeters a year.
You just speak the fucking regurgitated bullshit of every pseudo-scientific person I've ever heard. It's absolute nonsense. The moon is staying constant.
Can I share my screen, please?
Around above us. It doesn't vary.
It does. It's measured.
Can I share my screen, please?
Yeah, sure. We have a supermoon occasionally.
Yeah, that's right.
Good.
So, here we go. Here's a measurement of length of day by very long baseline interferometry and GNSS. Okay, you can see that the length of day is not constant. It changes on the order of milliseconds, and it does so on a very. Here we can zoom in to have a look at sort of an interannual variation, and you'll see again that Earth's rate of rotation varies through time. So you're just fucking wrong, Ross. We measure observably and we record it in scientific publications that have been peer-reviewed and replicated that Earth's rate of rotation varies. So fuck off.
One way that we know that our distance to the sun changes is because we can experience a full solar eclipse, but we can also experience what's called an annular solar eclipse, which is like a ring of fire type situation. The sun does not change size. The sun is at a different distance that makes it visible, makes that ring visible. When it's a total solar eclipse, that ring is not visible.
Hackerman for $5 Australian says, "Fuck me, Iron Horse. You're fucking dumb."
Iron Horse, I'm not here to insult you, but I do want to ask you a question.
I'm
I'm trying to ask you because
I'm not
trying. I don't understand the science enough that I'm going to try, but I'm going to use practical examples. What is your objection, or what is the source of your disagreement that the Earth and the atmosphere can rotate together? What is your objection to why that can't happen?
That's an awesome question, and my biggest answer to that is, first of all, you cannot replicate a model, like I said during the debate, that would represent a ball in a vacuum with an atmosphere around it, let alone different levels of water.
That's not really an answer, though. The not being able to replicate it isn't an answer.
Yeah. Would you like the answer?
Yes, please.
Is that because you can't replicate that, then obviously at any scale, it's not possible.
Why is it that we can't replicate?
Hold on, Max. One second.
Say, for example, we have a guy jumping out of an aeroplane with a parachute. The parachute is going to capture some of the atmosphere and slow him down to the point where he can fall to the ground. But you're trying to assume that the entire Earth is like a massive parachute somehow moving all the air with us to make it appear like it's perfectly still.
Viscous drag. Let me ask you. Let me just rephrase my question then. Let's say you have a 5-gallon pail full of water. The water's not moving. The pail is hung from a string at the center of the handle. So if you were to spin the pail, the water would spin with it, etc. Do you accept that at least picture in your mind?
Absolutely, yeah. That's how I first came up with my idea.
Okay.
Of
Now, what happens if you have
centrifugal force is pushing
what
it
happens
outwards.
if you have a bowling ball hung right above that 5-gallon pail of motionless water? The pail's not moving, the water's not moving. But I spin that ball and I lower it into the water. What will happen to the water and the bucket, or both?
You lost me where you said it's not moving.
Okay, the bucket's hung from a string. It's not spinning. We're rotating. The water inside is stationary.
So it is moving though. That is moving. That's the definition of moving, is rotating.
It's not rotating. The bucket is not rotating on the string.
Okay.
The water inside is still as well.
Okay, so it's sitting at the bottom of the string in a bucket.
Well, the bucket's not sitting on the ground. It's hanging from a string.
Can I just say that in order to make this meaningful, you have to say that the water is not rotating relative to the bucket, and the bucket is not rotating relative to the bowling ball.
There you go. Thank you.
Well, the bucket is rotating relative to the bowling ball. You can either say that the bowling ball is rotating or the bucket is rotating. It's the same thing.
Do you accept that picture in your mind, Iron Horse? Can you picture what I'm saying? Have that clarified?
I'm accepting that what Tony just said was a load of bollocks.
But can you picture in your mind what that would look like?
There's no such thing as relative to. There's either real motion or not.
Okay, let's not get into semantics. Can you
That's
picture in your mind?
Using the example Iron Horse introduced earlier, you can switch on your treadmill, right, and you can run at 10 miles an hour relative to the treadmill, but your speed relative to the room that you're in is 0. So the statement that there is no such thing as relative velocity is idiotic. Using Ross's own fucking example, this is how simple-minded this individual is.
So, Ross, maybe this illustration will be a little bit better, but Tony said it very well right now. So imagine you're standing with another person on a big disc that's rotating at 1 degree per hour. So you're standing on the disc, neither of you two are moving, but the disc is rotating at 1 degree per hour. That person in front of you then turns and begins to walk at 1 mile per hour. So, but that would be relative to you on the disc.
Guys, with due respect, I want an answer to my question, and I waited to ask it.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
I'm not saying to shut up, but Iron Horse, did you understand what I was trying to say by a bucket full of water hanging from a string? Can you picture that in your mind?
Which full of water?
A bucket 5-gallon bucket full of water, hanging from a string.
I can picture that in my mind.
Okay. Now, if a bowling ball on the same axis as the string were spinning and then lowered into the water, what would happen to the water and or the bucket or both?
Say again, a bowling ball on a string lowered into the bucket.
Lowered into the bucket. What would happen to the water or the bucket or both?
And you say the bowling ball was spinning?
Spinning.
It would depend on the rate of spin, but it would
what would happen to the water?
Disturb the water. It would disturb the water quite a bit.
Well, what would happen to the water? Disturb it. How?
Well, we'll just sort of make some waves in it, and probably.
Would you be surprised if I told you that the water would start spinning with the ball and the bucket eventually with the water and the ball?
Yes, it would, because I believe I've done experiments like that. And if you float certain objects on the surface of the water, you'll find that the water itself doesn't move. The waves move, but the water itself stays still.
Okay, you're not answering his question.
I literally just gave you an example. I just literally gave you an example of how the atmosphere and the Earth would move together.
I don't think you're going to be moving the water though with the ball. The ball's going to spin through the water and create influences, but it's not going to cause the water to necessarily start forming a vortex around it.
It's not going to form a vortex around it. It's going to start moving with the ball.
No, it doesn't.
And then the buckets. Oh, God, Lord, you could do this experiment in your backyard.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't believe you are being genuine anymore.
You can pick up a bucket of water and have some floating objects on it. And if you turn,
well, fuck, I
turn
can throw the bucket
and
at
try
you.
and make
That's
the
irrelevant
object
to my
float
goddamn
with it, the
analogy.
object stays still.
Can I
The object
interject here?
stays still.
I give up. I'm sorry. I'm
Can I
muted for the rest of
interject
the
here?
night.
Icy spin. That's a really bad example, and I'll tell you why it's a bad example. It's a bad example
Somebody
because
understands.
in the example that you're talking about, the water and the bowling ball are separate systems. That was never the case for any molecule in the atmosphere.
Oh, that was me, Tony, Jack, that brought that up, not Icy Spin.
Right. Sorry.
And I did it not to say it was an example of the exact same thing, but to say that the water would start moving with the ball and the bucket with the water and the ball.
Yeah, but the simple but also the rotation of the ball would slow down because of the frictional effect of the water on the ball. But the simple fact is that Earth's formation.
I'm just trying to use practical examples for the guy.
I understand. I understand where you were coming from, but the simple fact is that the system that formed the Earth, the system, under its own gravitational effect, formed a disk and that created the Earth, and that system has maintained its rotational momentum because there's nothing to slow it down. There's nothing to slow it. There's nothing that it's rubbing against. There's no interplanetary medium that supplies friction. Everything, the atmosphere moves with the Earth's rotation because there's nothing to slow it down. There's nothing to stop it from continuing to rotate in that system. And Iron Horse is here maintaining that there is some magical system that is going to cause the atmosphere to slow down relative to Earth's surface. There just isn't.
Well, I don't think that was what he was
saying. It's not easy to say that the Earth isn't moving and the atmosphere isn't moving because it isn't moving.
Ludwig says, I've been dealing with the chat and I'm confident Iron Horse has been winning. He hasn't made a single point whatsoever. And I want to hear the exchange. That's adorable.
My point wasn't that it was slowing down or speeding up. It's that he wouldn't accept that the atmosphere could move with the Earth and why it would.
Yeah.
Tony, that's all I was saying.
It simply wouldn't. It's impossible. There's no way why it would. Unless you had a massive parachute dragging the air with you, and then you'd have multiple.
It's not dragging the air with it. It's the air is continuing to move with.
Why?
Do you understand? Do you understand conservation of angular momentum?
Yes, I do, and I'm asking you why the air would.
The angular momentum of the atmosphere is. How about you? I've asked you a yes or no question. You've answered yes. Now we can move on. What is going to rob the atmosphere of angular momentum? How is the atmosphere? How is our rotating atmosphere going to lose angular momentum?
Nothing to drag it.
But it doesn't need anything to drag it because
yes, it does.
No,
it doesn't.
Vacuum. No, in order to, you just said you understood conservation of angular momentum, which is to say that angular momentum. Angular momentum is angular momentum. Conservation of angular momentum means that the material in the atmosphere is not going to lose angular momentum unless something acts on it. Right? Given that we're in a vacuum, there is nothing to act on the atmosphere and remove its angular momentum. So it is going to conserve angular momentum as long as it's inside the system.
That's absolute nonsense. The Earth will just rush straight through it and leave it in the void of its space like a comet tail.
No, it won't.
You're a moron.
No, it won't because of gravity. And we had a debate about gravity, and I showed you the instrumental measurements of gravitational forces.
Yeah.
So,
showed me nothing about gravitational forces. And gravitational forces can never act upon air molecules.
And again, conservation of angular momentum addresses that as well, because the atmosphere has the same angular momentum around the sun as Earth does. So in order for the
where the fuck do we have night, and why doesn't the atmosphere disappear at night?
Oh my fucking god!
That is the most ridiculous non sequitur that I've ever heard, Rolf, and that's up against some pretty stiff competition. The angular momentum of the atmosphere the angular momentum of the atmosphere around the sun is the same as the Earth's around. So, contingent on relative to their masses. So, conservation of angular momentum does not mean conservation of. Yes, it would be easier for me to complete my sentences if I weren't being continually interrupted by a halfwit, an anti-Semitic halfwit. So let's go back. The conservation of angular momentum of the atmosphere around the sun prevents it from drifting away from the Earth. It keeps pace with Earth, again because of conservation of angular momentum.
You're triggered, Iron Horse, and let me tell you, keeping on if you
triggered, I think it's hilarious.
Continuing to drink is not going to make any of this go easier for you. It's
I point out for our European and American friends that it is 4:00 in the afternoon here. So how many drinks has Ross had by this early in the day?
I lost
count. 3:45. Thank you very much.
That doesn't.
And I'm only on my.
So okay, Ross. So again, hopefully maybe you can understand this. So I'll go back.
I can understand anything.
No, you can't.
Okay,
hit me with it. Hit me with it.
So the two people standing on the disc that's moving at 1 degree an hour. So if there was an observer standing,
how big's the disc?
It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant at this moment.
How big's the degree?
1 degree of a circle.
Everything matters. Like if you can't talk about 1 degree without giving me some parameters.
There's no way. This was not
1
real.
degree is 1
Yeah,
degree.
it's real, Jack.
Okay, you have to talk about physical
we're not going to get lost in
sizes.
the weeds. That is. How many degrees are in a circle, Ross?
There's 360, obviously.
Okay, so if I'm talking about it's moving 1 degree, so that is the measurement, 1 degree in an hour of those 360 degrees. So let's not get lost in the weeds. Listen, so there's two people standing on the disc.
But if it's a 4,000 mile circumference, it's moving 1,000 miles per hour. If it's a 40 meter circumference,
it doesn't matter.
We'll get to that.
Sorry, are you under the impression that the Earth rotates at 1 degree an hour?
I'm trying to envision what your question is.
Are you under the impression that the Earth rotates at 1 degree an hour? Because it doesn't.
It doesn't. So, okay, before you start spouting things, listen. So the two people are standing there.
It's 1,040 miles per hour, Tony.
Cool.
Oh my God.
The Earth does not rotate at 1 degree an hour, Ross.
It doesn't.
Jack's example is 1 degree an hour.
Yeah, it's dirt.
No, try and get your shit together and then ask me a coherent question, please.
Okay,
because you're all over the place.
I'm trying to because you're not listening. Okay.
Yeah, well, Tony keeps putting in his bullshit.
Well, it's because you keep talking over. But
yeah,
anyways,
you keep interrupting. Let him
so
finish.
there's two people on a disc that's moving at 1 degree an hour.
Two people on a disc.
Okay, so from that one person looking to the other person that is on the disc, what does it look like? Are they moving 1 degree an hour when they're relative to each other? Or
relative to each other, no, they're standing still.
Okay, so then they're moving at one. So from an observer off of the disc looking at them, what are they moving at?
1 degree per hour.
Okay, right there. So it's relative. So they're going with the momentum of the disc that they're standing on spinning. Do you got that?
Sure, not a problem.
Okay, so the same thing with atmosphere. They're moving with it.
So who's got the god-eye view over these two people standing there?
Random observer. I don't know. Pick someone. You. I don't give a shit.
No. It's important because we have to. If we're going to have a discussion about something, we have to have a relevant observer and a relative position.
And a what?
A relative observer to a relative position. So if you're the God's eye view looking down at people moving 1 degree per hour, whatever speed that might be, you have to have the observer to the thing moving to understand that there is
the
relative
person that's
motion.
not on the disc is observing them. I already said that.
Yeah.
What?
You have to. So it might help to specify the position of the observer, because that is apparently what Ross is caught up on.
Okay, so we'll put it this way: there's a record player. There's two people standing on the record player. The record player has a lip. There's a guy standing on the east side of it, watching them on the record. Okay.
Sweet.
to the observer on the outside, they're moving at 1 degree an hour. To the two people
Or
standing in front
33
of
RPM.
Well, to be
Or it could be 45.
okay, I need to clarify.
I'm trying to simplify it a little bit. So
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're getting confused a little bit because the only reference frame that really makes sense for saying a degree an hour is one directly over, is one directly above the center of the record or directly.
You're right. Okay, so the person is directly above it, looking down at it.
So he's on the needle, and the people are standing at the edge of the 45 RPM.
He's not on the needle. He's on the spoke through the center of the record.
Yeah, there we go. So he's looking down at it, and we'll say that there's markings all the way around it, 360 marks. So he can see exactly how far they're moving within whatever designated time. So 1 hour a degree. So to him, the disc and the people are moving at 1 degree per hour. But to the two people standing in front of each other on the disc, they're not moving. Now, if that person begins to one of the people, so we'll say they're both standing directly next to each other.
Let's call them Alice and Bob. Let's call the people Alice and Bob.
What?
Relative to the needle they're moving.
Yes.
No, not relative to the needle. Relative to the needle, they're not moving. Relative to the spoke through the center of the record, they're moving.
Yes.
Yeah, but the needle's on the spoke, so.
No, it isn't.
You're talking about the spindle. Sorry.
Forget about the needle.
You're good. So the two people that are standing next to each other are on they're at the same exact distance from the center. One turns and begins to walk away from the other one at 1 degree an hour. So relative to, I know it's not, to him it won't look that way, but I'm trying to keep it the same measurement.
Okay,
so it doesn't get too confusing.
Which way is the record spinning in this? Is it spinning anti-clockwise?
It's spinning counterclockwise.
Okay.
And the guy begins to walk
is this person walking counterclockwise?
Yeah, so the guy begins to walk counterclockwise.
Okay.
So to the two people on the record,
this way,
yes.
And this guy is also spinning this, walking this
that
way,
way,
right?
So relative to that guy, relative to the guy on the guy on the record, the other guy begins to move at 1 degree an hour away from him, which is not the proper way to measure it. I understand, but to the guy above it, he is going to be moving at 2 degrees an hour, while the other guy is moving at 1 degree an hour with the record.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So
the record
so
speed.
one's traveling backwards in time, the other one's traveling forwards in time.
That's not the point. No, the point is it's relative to the observation point.
Mm-hmm.
And the observation point is
so to the person on the disc, he's not moving 2 degrees an hour, he's only moving 1. And to the person who is observing, he's moving at 2 because he's conserving the motion of the disc that he's already on. That was the whole point. It's the same thing with the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm still worried.
Acroban says for $2, OMG, halfway, you're being nice today, Tony. Thank you so much.
You can correct any part of that I was wrong on, Tony. Sorry, I was trying to keep it all the same so that way nothing would get lost.
Oh my God, it's Matthew Hakim here. Matthew, everyone shut up! Matthew, you won the dumbest comment of the debate for the 13th time in a row, Matthew. That's amazing.
Hey, Matthew, did somebody offer you a free trip to Punta Arenas?
Yeah. Hold on. I got you. Boom, 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 boom.
So I'm still picturing all these people on the record.
One second, we need to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Are you playing the song?
Bit of I'll play it afterwards. Matthew Hakim, Jack Feder, who is right here. Where is it? Right there, over there at the far
Why
right.
do you interrupt the conversation, man? We're having a good conversation.
Because this is important. Matthew Hakim got offered a free trip to Punta Arenas in December, and Matthew Hakim.
I've got things to do, Max. You're a piece of shit.
Are you Matthew Hakim? No, you're not. And also, you don't have anything to do. It's Sunday for you, and you're already drunk. So shut the fuck up. I can debug your bitches from the comfort of my living room. I know how perspective distortion, whatever the fuck that is, makes the lights go opposite direction. It's south of the equator. Go fuck yourself, punk ass little bitch. That's adorable, Matthew. Wait, did the drunkard go?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had to change his diaper.
No, Ross, you're drunk. Come back. I'll play it.
That's the
for
dumbest comment of the debate. You said it with a smile like you sounded so great. Round and round you talk, but you don't say straight. That's the dumbest comment of the debate.
13
So
times you've won that prize, Matthew Hakim. That is just a massive record.
Also, to clarify, Jack said nothing about rotation or degrees, or I had nothing to do with any of that. So
No, that was all dirt. Sorry, I do apologize, Tony. If it I was trying not to let him latch onto anything because he seemed to have a habit of, if someone said one thing that he perceived as not being relevant, he just latched onto it and would not shut up about it.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's real. That can't be real.
My apologies to you, IC Spin. And
Wait, no, that's dirt.
No, that's
no. I wanted to apologize for accusing IC Spin. I accused IC Spin of saying stuff, and he was innocent, so I wanted to apologize.
Oh, wait, you accused Jack,
I
not
apologize
IC
for
Spin.
not criticizing you harsher. But
no, that's fair. Thank you for the correction.
To sort of clarify your example, what you actually want. Give the people names, Alice and Bob, so it's easier. Let Alice be standing either with feet either side of the spoke. So she's rotating with the record, but she's at the center. And so she's looking out at Bob, and initially Bob is stationary relative to her, but then Bob starts walking at a degree an hour, but it's 2 degrees an hour relative to Clive, who's above the record. So the reason I say to construct it like that is if she's not standing at the center of the record, then it really doesn't. His angular velocity is actually a really complicated function.
Yeah, but I was trying not to. No, and I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, you're right. I should have structured it like that. Thinking about it now, but it was. I was trying. I don't know. I kind of got flustered with him, so I kind of lost my train of thought.
That's fine. But I do want. I do feel it. He refused to back away from the position that Jews deserve to be discriminated against. So he clearly is a raging anti-Semite. Not sure about the rest of the Nazi ideology, but at least that one you can tick off your bingo card.
I don't know. I didn't know enough about that, so I wasn't going to talk about it. But no, yeah, thank you for the correction. Yeah, I definitely was using velocity when I should have been using speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my bad, but I also
I've been guilty of that too. Someone asked me, "What's the difference between velocity and speed?" Wait, what happened to my light?
One's a vector, one's a scalar. So one is And
what the fuck?
I think it was lost on him anyway. I mean, Tony, you did correct my water ball analogy with proper terminology, but I don't think it matters to him because I don't think he could conceptualize anything.
No, I don't think he can.
I mean,
I think you're exactly right.
He's my light ring. It's breaking. Fuck. He started off being able to understand during the debate, but he just keeps on drinking and drinking and drinking. So by the time we got to the after show, he was tipsy. Just right before he quit, he was full blown drunk.
The stuff he said during the debate, though, was he might not have been inebriated, but it was no more coherent.
Right, but the problem is that whenever you start explaining shit to him after he's drunk, it's like it's all bullshit. It's funny, but like there's no way that you will get through to him. All right, so that was a lot of fun. Matthew Hakim, you are the only 13-time winner of the Dumbest Comment of the Debate Award. I swear to God, I will send you a trophy. If you give me your address, I'll send it to you. Or
you're also a chicken shit coward, Matthew.
True. You ran away from a paid trip to Punta Arenas.
Prove to your flirt buddies that everybody's wrong by going there.
And you could debate Max live.
You were saying that you want to debate Jeranism. You can debate Jeranism and you can debate me. You can embarrass both of us.
Look at all that content for your, and you'd be free trip.
Free trip. You get content for your non-existing like 100 subscriber channel. I mean, it's a win-win for us, but no. Shh, he doesn't know that. All right, let's do final thoughts and we'll be on our way. That was a lot of fun. It's always very interesting. Oh, look, we have Mr. E-Man, another representative of Aussie. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Max. How are things with you?
Yeah.
I only just dropped into this and heard Iron Horse spouting his absolute nonsense.
Yes.
Oh man.
It's okay.
Sometimes
we don't hold it against Australia. We know that people like that exist all over the world.
That's very gracious of you. Thank you.
I love that Jack has to leave every time a new person comes because he can't hear Max anymore.
It's not every time. It's only when the source audio sometimes changes.
Yeah, I got
all
you.
Right.
It's just funny.
I'm sorry, Mr. Eman, but you came on at the very last second. So let's start with Tony. Final thoughts. You're muted.
I muted myself. Yes. I just Ross is an unrepentant, phenomenal anti-Semite and racist, and deserves to be called out on it each and every time he pokes his head out on. But he's also phenomenally ignorant and intellectually dishonest. Just cannot keep to a topic. As soon as his examples start getting systematically dismantled, he just wants to complicate the topic some more. So yeah, he's a failure on every single level.
I mean, you said intellectually dishonest. I would say intellectually bankrupt. Because I mean, he tried every single strategy in the book today, from saying, "Oh, you're confirming my point," to to pretending he didn't hear dirt. Like, he ran through all the gamut of strategies. Yeah, it was fun.
If there were a burning building and I was sent in to rescue people, and there was Ross and a house plant, I'd think carefully about which one was the more valuable.
Let me read this. We are Golga Fringes for £10. Says, I was waiting for Iron Horse to mention centrifugal force so I could post this. If Earth's rotation would have to be 5,075 seconds per rotation for centrifugal force to be equal to gravity. Well, thank you so much. And Hackerman says, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Thank you, Hackerman. I love that we have so many Aussies in the audience and on the panels. Icy Spin, final thoughts.
I didn't catch the debate, but I think that modern day debate is literally latched onto Ross as their last remaining Flurp wizard to debate.
Yeah.
That and the guy that doesn't know how to close the tabs on his browser. I guess he comes around every now and again, but I remember one argument from Ross about how the stars work, and I honestly can't think of it right now, but it blew my mind, and I still haven't collected all of the neurons from my brain from that one. So I don't know. He's tiring and he's boring and he never answers questions and he just slaps everything off. So that's about all I got.
Yes. My favorite Ross dumb stuff is the moon was dug out of the Grand Canyon by giants and inflated with helium and put in the sky. That's why when the helium comes to the surface, it bubbled, and that's why it has craters or something like that. Arnold says, tough situation. Could we ask the houseplant what it thought about juice first?
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Mr. Eman, thank you for dropping by. I'm sorry that we're on our way out, but final thoughts?
Ross has always been dishonest Delica. He's always evaded answering questions. He has said some really dumb shit in the past, and I don't know why people seem to think why Ross seems to think he's still a valuable contributor to any form of discussion whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Max says, I left for a bit until Falponi crashed out and rage quit again. Darren, yeah, you have to be here because he rage quit like 3 times today and came back twice. And then the final one, he just left. So, Dirt, you tried really hard, but Iron Horse is just an impenetrable wall of stupid. But thank you for your effort.
Yeah, this is the first very long conversation I've had with Flurf, and I'm realizing that this is definitely a skill. So I commend PhD Tony and MC Toon, FTFEU. This is something I'll definitely have to work on. I know I said a few wrong terms, and that's on me. Thank you for the corrections, Tony.
It happens. It happens to all of us.
And I do encourage anyone, if I do say some shit wrong, correct me. I understand how stupid I am. It's fine.
I make mistakes all the fucking time. So you did fine.
That one between velocity and speed, it's when it gets you like off the cuff in the moment, it happens. Like I did it live too, and then someone said it in the comments and corrected me. I was like, oh fuck, I'm so dumb. I forgot about that. But yeah, it happens. It's okay.
I mean, we're constantly like trying to figure out, because they'll deny every example we can think of. So we're constantly trying to brainstorm like something that might be new to us, even to like try to describe it. So I mean, it's normal.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, how do you now you popped your Flurf chat cherry? Let me just tell you, this is how all Flat Earth conversations go. There is no difference. They all have a different, like some differences in minor strategies, but this is all they do. This is all they do.
No,
yes, it really is.
I can understand why Tony gets mad and FTFE yells, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna stay calm the whole time, and I definitely didn't. Overall, I don't remember anything from the modern day debate, but this was very enlightening on how little they actually know what they're talking about.
Oh yeah,
and how quickly they'll latch on to like the dumbest things. That's all I'll say.
I mean,
thank you for having me on.
You're welcome back anytime. He tries to make claims about electricity, and you asked him questions, and he knows nothing about anything basically, and claims that he knows how to. Today he claimed that he knows the globe model better than anyone, or shit like that. Like, woo, it's bad. Jack, you also made a tremendous effort today. Unfortunately, Ross is Ross.
Oh, I don't even know. I mean, the debate was only a couple hours ago, but it seems like such a simpler time compared to the last 2 hours. As a high school educated individual, it doesn't surprise me that PhD Tony clarifies terms, because in his line of work, terminology is specific and exacting. What does surprise me is that Iron Horse, his ability to conceptualize or to imagine in his head the mechanics of what is being, asked in an analogy. Oh, how big is the bucket? It doesn't fucking matter. Make it in a tub instead of a bucket. Well, I go between believing that this can't be real and that he's trolling us, or that he is just too dumb to even have a conversation with.
Yeah.
And so I want to believe that he's not that dumb, but I don't know what to say.
The conjunction between dumb and drunk is kind of bad, and I echo IC Spin chirp. I have no idea what we're doing tomorrow, but we'll probably do something. Arnold says, kudos to Fetter for remaining very calm and really just trying to pin him down with simple questions. Yes. Ludwig, you've been furiously hitting the keyboard, and I noticed that you never click the link to join here. I also noticed that I offered to schedule a debate between you and Professor Phil Bell. You didn't answer that either. So maybe come back when you grow a pair of balls.
Ludwig, do you know what intellectually means?
No.
You'd be delighted to know he doesn't have a mic or a speaker, I think you said.
He does. I mean, Do you have a phone? If you have a phone, you have a mic and a speaker, and you can join in to hear. It's very easy. You just open YouTube on your phone and then click the link, and you are on here in like less than 30 seconds. So don't lie. Please don't lie. Matthew Hakim refused trip to Punta Arenas. Also, the only 13-time winner of the dumbest comment of the debate award. Before we go, make sure to do the social thingies, like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend, send this to your team. Go to the corner, use the corner of your street, and yell. Subscribe to PhD Tony, IC Spin, and share my Mate Talks. And that way we can share the lab for the channel. Thank you, everyone. It's been a blast. We'll see what we do tomorrow. Catch you all. Bye-bye. Love you.
Derp.